Alright, I want to check the audio. Audio sounds pretty good. So this is just gonna be a little VOD review. My brother is wanting to get back into Predecessor, and so I just want to look at his game, and then see maybe if I have a game I can show him. Like, this is a Countess offlane game. We won, and I didn't play too good, but I think I have one. I might have one recently. Yeah, like I'll show him, like we'll go over like this game or something where like it was just really one-sided. I like playing some Countess offlane. That's Daybreak, that don't count. That's E-Ram. Okay, so first, I'm trying to think what would be better. Let me see. I think first things first, I want to let's look at my games, okay? I think we'll look at my game first, and I'll explain things, and then that way we have an understanding of, you have a frame of reference. And so we'll look at this one. We'll look at this one that I played a couple days ago, and this one it looks like I played a couple weeks ago. I think that was ranked too, wasn't it? Yeah, this was a ranked game, so literally just left work on my way home. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna watch this one first. This 14, where I will go 14-1-1. Well, they have a whole girls team. That's crazy. Stats, we did the most damage. How much objective damage did I do? Not that much. Damage healed, obviously we're going to heal a lot as Countess. Had the biggest CS by a lot, actually. Only others, for most people. Alright. Oops. Matches, so let's view replay. Yes, we want to view this replay. Error! Oh no. Why? Okay. Damn, that's annoying. Because this is a good game. Like, obviously, like, it's just really just dominating, just one-sided. I don't know, maybe these are too old or something. That's A-Ram. I don't play offlane very much. So, like, I'm looking for when I played offlane. Like, this is awful. 0, 4, and 7. I don't know what happened. This one work? If this one works, I'm gonna be mad. Okay. Okay, so that one doesn't work either. Even that one. Here, let's see. This one doesn't work. It's pretty annoying. Hopefully, this one works. Okay, this one works. I think what happens is, like, that one was from a different patch or something, and so, like, the old patch ones generally you can't, I think, look at them again. Alright, so I've actually never used this system before, and so I'm trying to figure it out. So this is, okay, it says change hero, but it doesn't look like it's to change hero. Hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I apologize about that. Had to do some daddy things. Alright, so I don't understand the system. So this is how you move. How do I change hero? It says change hero using the triggers, but it's not working. I'm on the other side of the fucking map. Hold menu. Oh, that's that. Okay. Cycle view mode. Okay, we don't want that. Oh, here we go. Here I am. Alright. What the hell? Now I'm so confused. Now it's letting me change. Toggle cursor. Okay, this is cursor. Okay, I'm trying to figure out this. I've heard people say that this is a awful system, and I'm starting to see why they say that. Because now I don't know how to. I don't know how to go back to where it was. Oh, okay. I see. I see what's going on. I think. Um, so take the cursor off. Okay. Okay. I think I'm getting it a little bit. All right. Clearly, I don't use this very often. So we're just gonna watch this game a little bit. Um, I think it said I did 4-3-1, and we ultimately won. I was duo queued with uh I was duo queued with the jungle. Now, I remember this game. And this game I actually didn't play too well. I didn't play too well, to be honest. And I think I died twice like stupid deaths because I don't play offlane very much. So, you know, there's that, but I'm hoping that there's some principles in here that you could at least see that I tried to incorporate in order to okay, why is it going so fucking slow? Explain to me what's the purpose of starting a game at 0.1 times speed. If someone can explain that to me. Um and so and so you know, just simple things, right? Always place your ward. So I go and place my ward. Um, Actually, I want to see. Let me see if it's possible. What is hero chase? Okay, yeah, do it this way. Let's do it this way. Then we can. So then it should just follow me. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. And then, okay, I think I understand how I'm gonna do it now. Okay, so first things first, right? So he's already pushed up. Whatever. That's fine, because he came up to the wave early. So right now he has minion aggro. You don't want to do this. This is like, I don't think this is a good idea. He's taking minion damage off jump because he drew the minions aggro before the other minions even got here. Okay, so that's one. So he's already going to be taking more damage than me. Now, what you want to do, or a good principle, right? I think you have to understand, like, in off lane, you usually have two melee characters fighting. In mid lane, you usually have two ranged characters fighting, right? But a principle in the game when it comes to minion management, right, and drawing their aggro is if you do something that's single target, if you get hit with a basic attack or like a single target ability, then that will draw minion aggro to you. If you do something that's AoE and you hit the minions, but you just so happen also hit, the other enemy laner, then the minions won't aggro you. Now, based on your character's kit, this could be really good for you, right? So you'll see Bale, he uses his little stun thing first, right? That's AoE. So even if I get hit by that stun, I'm stunned and he doesn't draw minion aggro. And he can do damage from the wave to the wave from range. And you'll see here with Countess, she has two, her R2 ability and her R1. Her E ability or her whatever. I mean her E ability and her right mouse button ability both are AOE abilities. So when I use them, I don't drop minion aggro, and if you position yourself well, you can do damage to the enemy laner and clear the wave, right? Now, if I wasn't Countess and you were someone like Steel, right, just like a pure melee character, the footsies in this would be a lot more tight, right? Because essentially you want to position yourself almost where like you're playing footsies where, he's trying to get last hits on the minions, but also avoid hitting you. Because if he accidentally hits you with his basic attack, well, guess what? Then he gets the minion aggro. And then that will be a good time to engage, given hopefully that you have less minions on, in the lane. There's less enemy minions than what he's having to deal with essentially. So I'm not really doing that right now. I probably used my little spin thing a little too early. I see that he's going to clear his wave way faster than mine, right? Because he did what he did. So I'm backing up. I'm already backing up. Like, it's important to, like, pay attention to that, right? I saw that he was clearing his wave faster. You don't want to get caught back there, right? Under all minion aggro, right? Because I have all the minion aggro right now. And so I just space him out. Space him out. He didn't do nothing. If he wanted to hit me, he would have had to use his ability essentially. Big thing about Countess is like management early on is really rough. My wave went under tower, which kind of sucks. So my CS, it's supposed to be 6 lane minions. I got 4. That's not terrible. Like, I'm not super mad at that at this point. Where is he at? He's at 5. So I only missed 1 minion, even though, my minions went under tower. So here we go again. So essentially what I try to do when I'm laning is I always go for the back minions first. Because one, they're ranged minions, right? So I like to kill them first. Because if you do get their aggro, they're the ones who can hit you from distance, okay? That's one. Secondly, is that if this guy tries to play footsies with me, with last hits on the lane minions, right? If he tries to play footsies with me, right, then he's moving away from my minions. So he has to commit to either trying to play like play closer to me and, miss out on getting last hits, and so it's sometimes, not many people do that, but if he decided to do that, that will be what he's going against, right? So if I'm over here, it'd be hard for him to get last hits on the minions, I made a mistake here, I think. Not really, actually. I went and I got her escape next, and I did that on purpose because I don't want to get caught out, essentially. So here, this is a good time to talk about lane management a little bit. So when you're laning pretty much in any lane, it don't matter. I think there's only 3 places essentially you want your lane to be at, okay? And this position right here is the best, essentially, right? Now, he only has 1 minion here, but I still want to bring it up, right? Is that if you can, the three places you want the wave is you want the wave essentially right here, right in front of your tower, but not in your tower. Because then you control the lane, right? You can slow push from here, right? You can slow push from here. And then if he wants to soak up XP or something, he has to put himself at risk to being ganked. Either from our 5 camp over here or from the river, right? He's not safe over here. You know, even with that ward up here, Seraph especially can come easily from 5 camp and gank this guy, right? And so as much as possible, you want the lane frozen right here, right? So that's place 1, right? The other place, here, let's go to free. Let's go to free drone, okay? So the other place that you want the lane, essentially is middle, back in neutral, right? It's kind of just like resetting the lane, right? And you're back at like when the game first started, okay? That's the second place you want it. And then the only other place you want your lane, if it's not there and it's not here in the middle, is you want your wave to get under his tower, right? Because if your wave gets under his tower, one, you know, it requires more skill to get last hits under the tower, because if you do nothing, you're going to miss out on that wave. But if you're behind, it lets you catch up since he's missing out on minion last hits. And if you're ahead, then he gets further behind. So the only 3 places you want your wave ever is right there in front of your tower, right here in the middle, or under their tower. Now, if your minion wave crashes under their tower, like goes under their tower, then I believe the next minion wave will meet in the middle. So then, like, you know, I think unless you have like a big slow push or something. If you have a big slow push, then it kind of throws things off. But usually if you have just a single minion wave go under tower, then they will crash back in mid lane and kind of reset the whole lane. So that's super important, I think, to understand as well. So let's go back to hero chase. Okay. And so right here, this is a good place for me. Look where he has to be at in order to try to get this wave. Now, if you find yourself in a position like this, right, you can accept defeat. Try to stay back a little bit where you're close enough to get the XP, because naturally, right, some of your minions are going to die to their wave, right? So when they do die, you can stay close and, you know, accept defeat. In off lane, you could go and get Cyan buff, right? If you're pushed up, right, and this opponent is holding the wave right here, that's an excellent time to just go get Cyan buff, right? Pretty much free. And then, or third, what you can do is what I'm assuming he's trying to do, is you can try your best to clear this wave, right? Like if say you have like 2 full waves, right? Not just one and another, but like say that we both have a full wave right here. If he clears his wave faster than I clear my wave, then his wave will crash under my tower. And then he knows that, like, okay, it's going to reset. It's going to reset the lane almost. So those are kind of like your options if you're the opponent. You can accept defeat, you know, go get Cyan buff and stay nearby to soak up XP. Or you can like kind of try and clear your wave. If you're really brave, if you're a character that has really good mobility, maybe not early game, but if you have a character with really good mobility and stuff, you can go invade their jungle. You can go in here and take their 5 camp and stuff like that. You can look at their 5 camp. You can look at their 2 camp. You know, take their 2 camp, you know, if you're brave. I would only do that with characters who are fairly mobile. So, you know, I wouldn't go in there with like Terra and try to do that, is what I'm trying to say. But you could do that. That's an option as well. So here, yeah. So wave. Now it's pretty much back in the middle again. And so I'm just playing slow. I'm just, you know, I'm spacing him out as best as I can, dealing damage to the wave. I'm letting him clear the wave faster than me on purpose at this point, because I want to try and freeze. I want to try and get a situation where the wave is under my tower. So here, right, I got my next minion wave already, and he got 4 minions right here. So this is perfect. I bring it down here, and now I'm forcing him to play unsafe, right? Now, here, in this situation, I wanted to clear my minion wave fast. And I wanted to clear it fast, right? Because he's not going to let me slow push. He's right in front of me, right? So what I wanted to do is clear it fast. Because the minute I clear this fast, guess what? All these minions, these 5 minions I got, they're going to look towards him. So if I cleared it fast, right, then he gets minion aggro. But he helped me out because he hit me with a basic attack or some single attack. And then my minions started looking at him anyway. Now, this is where, like, the problem with Countess comes in. As you can see, I have, like, no pots. I have no pots and no mana. You're like, oh, my God, I have to back. I don't remember if I back or not, but we'll see. I don't know if I backed or not. But this is the problem with Countess. Early game, it's impossible to manage your mana well. Like any other mid laner, you know, it's just always going to be at a mana advantage compared to you and things like that. And you don't want to back too early. You back too early, you're going to lose a wave. You know, that wave is going to crash into your tower. And then, you know, I feel like the off lane is probably the most snowbally lane, in my opinion. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I don't remember if I back or anything, but I don't want to back too early. So I'm under tower. I'm just trying to get last hits, as much last hits as I can. Getting last hits under tower is really hard. I got one. Okay, I think I got I got 3 of those, which is nice. And you see, I don't back. I have no mana, and I'm half health, and I'm not backing. I still have my blink, so I'm fairly safe. You know, as long as I don't really use my... If I use my skills sparingly, I can still hang around. So, just not backing unnecessarily. I use that because that's like AoE. And so he's appropriately attacking me. I'm like low health, right? I'm low health. He's doing what he's supposed to do, not letting me get the last hits. And I'm like, okay, there's nothing I can really do. So now I have to succumb. I have to just like, you know, admit defeat, you know, so far. Good thing is, right? But this is the other thing. Now, you know, I lose a wave, but the caveat to that is I'm going to have an item advantage now, right? If he stays, he's still on just a short sword or whatever that is. A short sword, you know? And I'm going to be on not a short sword. I don't know what I'm going to be on. But, okay, I went Tainted first. So Spike Birch. And I think I'm actually waiting to get a Divine Pot here. Yeah, so Spike Birch in a Divine Pot. So now he's going to have less healing, and I'm going to have more sustain. So that's where we're at now. So I gave up a minion wave, but now we at least have an item advantage, okay? And I didn't really miss. The wave just got here, so I didn't miss anything. I'm trying my best to clear this wave. I got a couple. So, didn't do terrible. I think I got 5 or 4 of those. So here, I think I realized, like, I'm trying to slow push a little bit, so I stopped hitting the minion wave as much. Right? And so now, this is what I'm talking about. So now, if he wants to contest this, he gave up, he backed up, but he kind of effed himself. Right? He effed himself because, like, now the wave, I have lane prio, essentially. Like, I'm forcing him to come to my side. Right? He has a Chimera. Chimera is dangerous, but Chimera don't have, like, I mean, you know, Chimera's all in. Hold on 1 second. So his lane's cooked, essentially. I have like full control of this lane right now. And so I'm just gonna take my time. Let's see. And you know, he's down or I'm up on CS. So despite even having to back, we're pretty much at a CS equivalent is what I'll say. Do a little pokey poke, 2 steps up. And again, you know, like I'm not tripping too much. He wants to clear lane super fast. I'm just playing my game. But look, because I slow pushed, look how many more minions I have. All ranged minions. So now, if I want it, I can go and attack him. Yeah, I'm attacking, poking. He's taking extra damage. And he's lost a quarter of his health. He lost half his health. He lost half his health because I slow pushed. And then when I cleared wave faster, he had all that minion aggro. Now, like I said, the thing about Countess is I have no mana. But, you know, but look, you know, so that's nice. You always keep your ward up when it's appropriate. You know, but right now we're back at neutral, right? We're back at neutral. And I'm just letting him do his thing, right? I'm just going to do a little bit of damage. And then I'm backing. He's level 6 now, so now he has his ult. I have to be mindful of that. Right? And here, this is important. I don't have a wave. My wave is right there. Meaning, if I don't take this minion aggro, they're going to go under tower. But where do you want the lane? You want the lane right in front of your tower. So instead, I come up to control the lane right here and make sure it doesn't go under my tower. And now it's frozen right there. So I saw him going for Cyan. Whatever. I usually... The other thing is... Hey, what's up, bro? The other thing is I don't really care about Cyan buff that much. In offlane, I really don't care. I'm not going to go die over Cyan buff. If it's available for me, whatever. But, you know, it's not like something I think you just have to contest. Like, it'll give you, like, a massive advantage. To me, it's a win more type of buff. And so I just don't do it. Okay, so, but we come back to lane. I get some hits in while he's over there lollygagging. You know, my mana's low. Okay, and again, here we go. See, I have more lane minions than him. So I step up, try to get him to hit me to get minion aggro. And he draws it with a basic attack. And so now I can fight him. So that was my fault here. I should have still been fighting him. I shouldn't have gave up because I have a whole new wave here now. And since he's on my side, look where his wave is. They're still at the tower. Right? But that's where I made a mistake. That was my mistake. I didn't have enough mana to do my ult. I didn't have enough mana to do my escape. I think I already used my blink. It doesn't show it on here, but I'm pretty sure I used my blink already. And so I got hit by his ult and died. So that was a mistake on my part. For sure. How do I get back? Where am I at? Okay, here I am. Okay. And so that was a mistake on my part, and I gave him first kill. And so now, looking at it, right? Looking at it, I'm in a bad position now, off of 1 death. He has 20 CS up on me. He's 2 levels up on me, and a kill up. You know, so I'm in a bad position. So now I have to play way different. You know, a little bit different. I have to respect him a lot more and things like that. Good thing is I have my ult. That's good, right? So we'll see how I did. I will say, I think I ended this game 4-3-1, right? So at the end of the game, we did okay. But you see this guy, he starts to like make a lot of bad decisions. I feel like this guy, you know, I beat myself up. I made a bad play and he took advantage of it. And then the other thing is I had a jungle who was very active in our lane that you'll see. I never expect jungle to rotate to off lane. You know, like, just personally, I don't expect jungle to rotate to off lane. But it's nice when they do. And you'll see my jungle come over here a decent amount when she's already on this side and he's pushed up. And so a big thing is a lot of people are like, oh, you need to rotate to my lane. Gank my lane. Gank my lane. The laner sets up the ganks. Okay? don't ask someone to come into your lane, you know, all the time. If you play where they're always pushed up, a good jungler will naturally come over there and try to get that kill. That's how it should be, you know. And when you're in lower levels, that doesn't always happen, but that's how it should be. And so right now I'm kind of cooked. I'm not like in a good position right now. I'm definitely playing from behind right now. Like I said, he has like almost 20 CS up on me. He's like 18. And so now he's gone and I need to farm. And so I'm just taking my time with this lane. I want to slow push this lane. I want there to be a big wave for him when he comes back. And so that's like my goal. I'm really bad at hitting his last hits, as you can see. I think the game is kind of decent too. It looks bad, but it's counting him as last hits. So we're gonna have 4 extra minion waves. So I'm gonna have 10 minions to hit 6. Right? I'm waiting for them to come, and then I engage. I clear the wave. I try to clear the wave pretty fast. Do some poke, and then I back off again. I'm just playing really safe because he's up a level on me. He's up CS on me. So as you can see, he's going for like a basic attack or something. Like his attack speed is pretty high. Now I see my jungler over here, and so I'm trying to help her with that. She gets the Chimera, and then this guy stays way too long. Look at this guy. Look what he's doing. Yeah, that was really bad. I don't know why he did that. And then now we're taking their jungle. And now we get to take their jungle. And he's still up on CS, but now he's behind. And so now that he's dead, I want to push this fast. Because now I want this, instead of a big wave, I want to try and get this under his tower. That's like my goal. I want to get that wave under his tower. It's not going to end. I see that it's not going to be under his tower. And so I'm like, whatever. Fuck it. I'm just going to get Cyan. So he's 1 Cyan buff, and now I'm 1 Cyan buff after this. We get the Cyan buff. Helps out a lot. Right? And then I go back. Because now my wave is kind of slow pushing. And that I see that's going to go under tower. And we're good. Mission accomplished. I got Cyan buff. I got the tower, the wave under his tower. We're sitting ugly. That's a good time to back. And then now I can do whatever. Get whatever items I need and refresh. And I'm gonna just 2x speed this real quick fast. Alright. So I don't let those minions come under tower. Okay. So here's same old, we're laning. But now I have the ability, my clear is getting better. Like my clear is getting better. You see? Before, you know, the first 10 minutes as Countess off lane, you know, you're just kind of always playing behind. That's just how it is. It is what it is. Unless the other person is just playing, like you obviously want to play on other people's mistakes. You know, and Countess is, I think, really good for like more tank type off lanes. If you playing against a Sevarog, if you're playing against a Terra, if you're playing against a Steel off lane, Richter off lane, Morn off lane, these guys, those tank type off lanes is where Countess shines. You know, the Shinbis, the Bales, the Wukongs, all those people, I don't think she's the greatest at, you know? And so that's where we're at with her, you know? Where's he at on CS? As you can see, I'm catching up on CS. He was about 20 CS up on me when we first died, and now he's only 10. So we're slowly catching up, just playing our game. You know, he's trying to attack me, but he's not understanding the principle. He's not understanding the principle of minion aggro, right? I don't know how to back up. How do I rewind a little bit? 10 seconds. Hello? So he does the AoE, doesn't get any minion aggro. But when he does that and hits me, then he starts basic attacking me, and then he's getting the minion aggro. So that's why he started taking so much damage. I'm also just doing more damage, right, with my abilities. And so, again, I don't want it to come into tower, so I step up when they get right here, and then I start clearing them from under right here in the beginning of tower. I don't want them to go under. and the lane resets right back in the middle. So we come over to these range minions. He's level 10. I think I might have died here again. Yeah, because I think ult was in, right? Yeah. So like, as you can see, he got me twice in like the exact same way. The exact same way. I didn't respect his ult and stuff like that, and I got nuked for it. And I was really mad because I think at this point I have my crest. And if I had like backed to get my crest, this would have been completely different. And I think that's when you'll really notice the change. When I get my crest and I have Tempest up, it's like, okay, this guy, you know, based on what he's building or whatever, I don't know. But things just kind of turn around. So now I've died twice to him, right? Now I've died twice to him. So that's annoying. That's pretty annoying, but it's whatever. Let's get here. My tower, my wave thankfully crashed right at the, and you can see at this point too, I don't know if you've been paying attention in the background. My jungle is pooping on their jungle. My jungle As you can see, my jungle it's like massive jungle diff right now. Their jungle is 0-3 with only 72 CS. My jungle is 2-0-4 with 109 CS and almost 2k gold more than him. So my jungle is playing, you know, pretty good right now. He just soloed the Bill, just came over and killed the Bill at Cyan buff without my help. So right now now that helps because now he's dead. I'm 20 CS behind. I have an opportunity to catch up again. Right, and this game I probably would be further behind if it wasn't for it. You know, my wave got under tower, thank God, and so now I want to clear this wave as fast as possible and try to get some power damage. Now we got 2 waves under tower, so he died and lost 2 waves. Wasn't trying to be greedy. I got a plate. Get out of there. Reset. I don't want to get ganked. I don't know where their Chimera is at this time. And as you can see, he's running over there. Look where he's running to. Even though there's no river buffs up. There's no buffs up over there. You look up there, there's no camps. Our Seraph has already raided their camps. He raided their entire blue side after Bill. After he got Bill. He went over there and cleared out that 3 camp, that 4 camp, and his blue buff. So the Kai came over there. He was coming over there. So you just kind of have to understand like game flow and stuff. I got my plate. Get out of there. Don't be greedy. I don't know where the Chimera is at. And he was coming over there. If I was still at that tower, guess what? Absolutely, he would have stepped up. But since I'm back here at the river, it's a waste of time for him to come over here and gank. And I have a ward. So just things like that to protect yourself as well. I mean, just little things. Okay, so he's clearing wave. I'm still behind. He's a whole level up. He has higher farm than me. I have to respect it. Oh, as you can see now I have my crest. So we'll see. I think Seraph comes over and helps me. But for now, I just try to farm. Just farm. That's it, man. I zone out his little AoE. My clear is getting way better. My clear is getting nasty now. So it's nice. I don't have to just let him do things anymore. He steps up. He's like, I'm gonna poke you. That's fine. Again, I step up. I don't want the wave to crash under the tower. Step up. Get the minion aggro. You see me do this like pretty much every time. Unless it's one of the big minions. It's one of the big minions. I don't know how to explain them. The super minions. I don't know what they're called. But unless it's one of them, the one that takes a lot of tower shots, I let those last ones just come in because I can just clear it pretty quickly. So I don't really mind. So, I don't know. Goofy ass Chimera thought he was going to gank me. Not happening. And then my Sarah, she was over here at her 5 buff. She said, hey, Chimera's over here. So then I'm over here. I'm baiting him to come down here. And he takes the bait. So I go all in. He only has 1 stun. right? He only has 1 stun. I have no mana, so it was nice. But I see she's going over there to the Chimera. I'm gonna go over there and get my support. So she is so far ahead, she just deletes him. She's 2 levels higher than him. Chimera's 0-5 with 97 farm. She's 6-1-4. Our jungle went crazy. Every time she went somewhere, it was pretty much a kill. So they have a lot more fear. My tower, it didn't meet at their tower, which is bad. Like I said, I got my first item. I got Tainted Scepter, and I have Tempest now. He got Sky Splitter. And so, despite everything, if you look at our gold, I'm less than 200 gold away. He got like 150 more gold than me. That's it. 1-2-1, and he's 2-3-0 with 20 more farm. So, why Tainted Scepter first? I go Tainted Scepter first because it stops them from healing. Which you'll notice, which you'll see a lot of people do, what you'll see a lot of people do is they'll use like they'll go in, right? They'll go in and they know they're going to take minion aggro. And so they'll have like their pot. They'll have their pot, right? But I say you can't heal, right? And so like if you go Tainted, it negates how much they heal even off of pots. That's my understanding of it. And so I went Tainted Scepter first. I think Bale, I don't know if Bale has any built-in healing in his kit. I honestly don't know. But 9 times out of 10, I'm going Tainted first and then Noxia second. Unless I'm playing someone like a Sevarog or like a Terra or someone in which if they build like a health item first or anything with health, I'm going to go Noxia first. But I don't know. It's not showing me Tainted Scepter, strangely. I don't know why. So this has lifesteal. That's the other thing. Sky Splitter has lifesteal, right? So deals. He has lifesteal, so he has a lifesteal item. So from his pot and his item, I'm reducing how much he heals. If he went like some sort of tank item first that just has raw health on it, then Noxia would be better. But that's why I did that. I actually don't think, based on my items here, I don't even think I go Noxia second. I think I go Megacosm second against this guy just to get some residual damage on him for when I poke him. And I think I went Noxia third because he's not really a tank and it doesn't look like he's building tank. So yeah. It doesn't look like he's building a bunch of health items. And so right here, so this guy, he fell for the trap. He got baited. He got way too comfortable. He got way too comfortable with how some of our previous engagements went. He got like way too comfortable with some of the previous engagements, right? Because I have minion clears, like my minions are done. He clears them pretty quickly. And you'll see he's taking all this damage. He did his little buff thingy. I don't know what move that is for Bill, right? But he did it. And then he tried to do his stun, whiffed his stuns. So he's already 2 items down. I know he didn't use 2 skills on cooldown. So I'm like, okay, we can go in, bro. And so I hit him with that. I popped my Tempest. Tempest is going to get me heal. It's going to give him residual damage, right? And then I use my ult. Boom. He ults me. All this time, he's taking Tempest damage. Tempest does damage to people nearby you. So, I'm trash right here. This is very embarrassing. Pretty much my minions kill him because I'm whiffing everything. But it's whatever. He should have died when I did my little teleport. But I whiffed pretty badly. Minions cleaned up for me. It's fine. His moves were probably still on cooldown. I don't know what Bale's cooldown are. But, you know. So I want this lane to push because I want this lane to go under tower. And then I'm backing. I have no reason to stay here. And I think my minions do get up under tower. You can see they hit tower, so that's good.
What did I miss?
So, right here. I don't know why I didn't buy anything. Or it must be something that's like pretty pricey. Because I didn't buy anything even though I have 800 gold. It's probably something, I don't know. One of the tier 2s. But at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm building Megacosm and Noxia kind of at the same time based on how much gold I have and what items I have. So here, I want to clear this wave. I want this to go ahead and push. It's not going to make it to their thing. Now, obviously, I didn't know Chimera was up there. But again, you know, there's no reason for me to be up there. Chimera's right there. I would have been cooked, you know? And so now I know Chimera's. I don't know Chimera's right here this entire time, right? There's no way for me to know Chimera's right there. So. He stuns me. I'm pretty sure I die here because I think they're kind of smart. So I wanted them to chase me. I wanted them to chase me, right? What the fuck? You can get stuck in the wall. I wanted them to chase me, and he's just waiting by my shadow slip. He's like waiting. And I knew he was waiting because I was looking at the map. So I do think I end up getting caught here, which is annoying. And at this point, shadow slip is gone. Now, I'm confused. I don't really understand how TPing works all that well, to be honest. This is something I still don't understand the full mechanics of. There have been so many times where I've tried to hit people while they're on the TP, and they still just TP. You know what I'm saying? Because my goal was to go over there. As you can look on their side of the map, you have their support in the jungle, and you have Drongo pushed up with both of our duos very close to TP. So my plan was to TP over there. But for whatever reason, the TP stopped. There are still things I even need to learn about. And so I kind of get cooked here. And that's my last death of this game. That's my last time dying. So that's frustrating. And then the Chimera ended up TPing over there, which is kind of annoying. So there's still things I need to learn about the game and stuff. Seraph came just a tad bit late. It's fine. He's clearing out his blue buff. But yeah, like, that was frustrating. That was pretty frustrating.
My wings guide me.
And so now we're back. So pretty much, I think what I did here was I wanted him to try. I tried to get him to hit me, and I think he hit me. I think he did end up hitting me. So I think I wanted this guy to hit me, and I think he ended up hitting me and drawing tower aggro. So here, I see these two minions are not going to take out this tower from this amount of health, right? So at first I was going for the minions, but I was like, fuck the minions. I want to fight him, do damage to him, because if he's still here when those two minions die, I want him to take a tower shot, and I want him to lose as much damage as possible. So I was like, fuck the minions at this point. I know that these two minions on their own is not going to kill this tower. He's going to do more damage to them than this tower than probably the minions. So I go for him. He hits me. You know, it's not like minion aggro. It's anything when you're under tower. So he hits me. He takes, I think, two tower shots, and now look at the life advantage I have. So I'm like, okay, I'm fighting that, you know? And I do so much more damage now. Oh, I did go Noxy a second. Okay. I do so much damage now with two items, right? That, we're good. Also, I'm up on gold on this guy. I don't even know how I'm up on gold. I don't know if I was up on gold before I killed him just then, but yeah. And then Neon came over here trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, and I think Seraph puts her to bed before I can even do anything. Yeah, this Seraph is just eating shit, man. 7, 1, and 6. Although that Neon, you know, kind of ganked a little bit too late. Yeah, I don't think she would have really did anything to me anyway, but it's nice to have Seraph come over and just clean up. And so I'm pretty sure I get one more kill before the game is over. And as you can see, this guy who was like 2-2 is now 2-5. He's died 3 times without a single kill. We're doing a lot more damage now, so this tower's cooked. Got 7 minions under here. So he died and lost his tower. You know, the respawn timers are getting long. I'm like, here, I'm gonna take the tower. Also, I looked on the map, right? I was free to take this tower because he's dead, Neon's dead, and if you look on the map, Drongo, Kai, and Morn are all both on left lane. So I was super free to take this tower. And so now I'm like, alright, let's see what we got going on in this jungle. And So now I'm taking jungle minions, right? Rather than pushing up, I'm just gonna take jungle minions. Now I'm like, okay, I have a good amount of health and stuff still, so I'm not scared of him. Now I'm up. He's dodged so much. He's let me catch up. He's let me catch up. I'm less than 10 CS away from him. I have 900 more gold than he does, and I'm a level up. So now he's the one that's behind. Now he got to respect me, you know? And so now I can play from the position of power. This is my fault. That's like my thought process, right? I'm not a great off laner. This is just my very elementary understanding of off lane and stuff like that. I don't know why this got backing too, right? So I see that he's backing. Right, so I'm definitely not going back. I'm like, oh, we pushing our advantage. I don't know why he backed, but I mean, look at all the minions he's giving up again now. I guess it doesn't matter as much once we're in this late of a game, but now I'm 2 levels up than him. He goes over there to try and protect the inhib, and I'm pretty sure he dies. Pretty sure this guy ends up dying too. Right here, yeah, he dies. So I'm like, okay, another free tower. Shit, another free tower, bro. And so I think one of the key takeaways from this game too, is that, and this is a quick match, right? So you really never know the rank of the person across the lane from you. But especially in ranked, up until like plat, you don't need to rotate that much. You don't need to rotate. And I think most people over rotate. Win your lane. If you win your lane, that's how you help your team. You know? I'm not over rotating. I'm taking advantage of his mistakes, right? Of when he's backing, when he's dying, trying to push minions under his tower as frequently as possible, slow pushing when I'm behind or when I want to have a big wave for when he comes back from spawn, you know, things like that. Like just constantly doing that, you know, constantly. And every time I back or he backs, it's important to look at the minion wave and be like, oh, is this wave going to push into me or is this wave going to push into him? Right? Because that kind of determines what you need to do. If it's going to push into him, okay, I probably need to either kill his minion waves so that it tries to go under tower, or I don't know, you know, sometimes you're just kind of cooked, you know, and you got to take the L, you know, but it is what it is. You just play from there. But like, that's kind of like the mentality, you know, that's like what you should do, right? And so this guy gave me 2 towers in a short span of time, and now I'm creeping up on 2,000 more gold than him, and he's 2 and 6. You know, I gave him 2 kills, and he didn't snowball with it like he should have. And, yeah, should he have went over there to protect the tower? I don't know. There was already 3 people over there. So, you know, I got another tower. I'm 2k gold above him. 2k gold is almost a full item, you know. That's almost a full item. At least an item and a half. You know, at least half an item for sure.
Oh,
so I come back, I get life binder. So I had enough for a whole item. I thought I went mega cause in this game for some reason. So life binder, that gives me more sustain, right? And so now my lane pushed up. My lane's pushed up, and my lane is at his inhib. Now I get to go do whatever I want. So I see my team walking towards Fang. Guess what I'm gonna do? Let me go to Fang. You know? Let me go over there to Fang, right? Now imagine if I was in my lane right now. Look at the map on their team. Imagine if I was over there, right? So I'm gonna walk this way. I see my team at this point. It's been like, I don't know, 30 seconds my team has been on Fang almost. And so I'm like, there's no point in me going over there. They got that whole place warded up, right? They're probably almost done Fang. Instead, how can I be useful? Let me push mid. You know, I see a Neon here. Let me make sure Neon doesn't rotate towards Fang, right? And so I just stay here. Right? We get Fang, no problem. And so now I'm like, okay, I can go back to my lane. We got Fang. I see my laner back in his lane, and he's pushing towards it. I'm running over here with Sarah. This guy's fucking dead as fuck. He has no chance. Now, a lot of people, you notice what I'm doing? I'm letting Seraph do her thing, right? One, she's way buffered in this nigga, right? But guess what? I'm making sure he can't leap away from her. If he leaps, he's gonna leap right into me. So I'm letting Seraph do her thing. I did try to steal her kill just now. But you know, I let Seraph do her thing. She was fucking him up. She didn't need my help. Whatever. Let me just you know, and we're back to pushing waves. And at this point, I probably have more CS than him. Yeah. At this point, now I'm up on CS. I'm up on gold. He's 2 and 7. This dude has died like 7 times, or like 5 times since his last kill. He's had 5 deaths since his last kill. You know, that's unsustainable. That is not a good way to keep it. So right now, I would say he's inking pretty, like he's running it down. Running it down. I got this big wave. We have 1 extra minion in this wave, right? We have an extra, but he's the super soldier I was talking about, like the big gunners. Those guys, I let them go into tower sometimes just because it helps you kill them quicker because the tower does so much damage. And now I'm threatening their inhib. I got this big wave, and before the tower can clear this wave, there's going to be another wave. Now I see Bill is back up. I saw Bill is back up to contest that inhib, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get blue buff. I'm going to steal blue buff. Everybody loves blue buff. I love me a blue buff. It's my favorite buff. So I get this. I think we have one more little team fight. I'm full health. I got blue buff for mana. I'm like, I see Bill didn't clear this wave well. I'm like, I'm going to push this. And he ended up dying again. So Bale's not even alive. They lose another inhib. So they lose all 3 inhibs. And we're good from here. There's just one more team fight and this game's over. And since I have so much mana regen from blue buff, I'm free to stay in the fight. So was it a perfect game? No, it wasn't a perfect game. I wanted to show you the 14-1 in one game where it was just really one-sided, but this is probably a better game. This shows, you know, playing through adversity and playing from behind, and, you know, it's a team game at the end of the day, and Seraph coming over to kill people, and just also him making mistakes. Oh yeah, this fucking Chimera gave up. Yeah, so we were just lollygagging, playing around. But then Neon was being a bitch. So, Neon over here trying to attack people and shit. We over here just having a good time.
Try this on.
Then he started hitting my minions, and we couldn't have that. Really only got 3 kills. Obviously that one didn't matter. But, that's pretty much game. That's game. And so that just shows you some kind of core concepts of off lane. I pretty much never rotate it. Off lane, you're like split push king. That's off lane's job. The only time you need to rotate is if your jungle is like, hey, let's get mini prime, or like, hey, let's get OP, right? If your lane is pushed and you're coming out of spawn and you see your team is trying to make a play for Fang, then you're like, okay, then we can go to Fang, right? Like how I did in the mid, or like how I did towards the end of the game. Those are things you should do. If you're mid lane, then like obviously that changes a little bit. Mid lane has access to the entire map. You can half rotate to the right, you can half rotate to the left. But even still, you know, I think you only, your job as a laner is not to rotate. People, that's what I hate about being a mid laner, is people complain like, mid lane never came. Mid lane, my job ain't to rotate, gang. That's jungle's job. Jungle literally is the one who, when jungle is in their minion camp, they're literally right there. It takes them nothing to go peek their head on that other side of that fog wall. My job is not to walk half the map to come gank. I'm only doing that if the opportunity presents itself. That's it. You know, people over rotate in this game. Jungle whole fucking role is to gank, right? So it just grinds my gears so much when people be complaining to me because as a mid laner I'm not rotating. Nigga, that's not my job. I'm not the ganker. Anyway, I don't know which one you want to look at first. Let's look at your Grux gameplay first, just because I know you're a Grux main. And this game was interesting actually, because if I remember correctly, Hazard, you got 2 kills early. You got 2 kills early. So it would be nice to see where things changed. Okay. I can't really, I'm not going to be the one to speak too much on, it's a 44-minute game, so I'm probably going to play this entire one on 2x speed just for the sake of it. I'm not the ganker. No, dead ass, bro. Dead ass, bro. I'm telling you, until you hit plat, at least plat, just win your lane. That's all you need to do. Win your lane. Let the jungle do his job. Win your lane. The problem, this game is way too easy if everybody just did what they supposed to do. It's way too easy. Everyone loves that game where, despite it being a solo queue game, everyone just on the same page somehow. And it's nothing crazy. Niggas just doing what they supposed to do. When you start having people not doing what they're supposed to do is when shit gets bad. It's when people not doing what they're supposed to do, and it's when people are making mistakes, right? When the support starts taking your farm from carry, that's when shit gets bad. When support's not peeling for you, that's when shit gets bad. When jungle's not, ganking, that's when shit gets bad. Things like that. When communication isn't clear, sometimes it's the whole team. When no one's pinging, enemy missing, when no one has wards, when there's no wards on the map, that's when it's an issue. That's when people start having fucked up games. But here you don't need to do this. I don't think you need to do this. I mean, it's fine, but you don't need to do this because you're on. Okay, you're on. I guess you could do this. This is actually not bad. Actually, I take it back because I'm not used to offlane. You're on blue side, right? Now, the reason I say you don't really need to do this is because once you go into ranked, right? When you go into ranked, most people will ward their blue side. Junglers usually will get a ward, because their buffs don't pop up until like a minute or something, like a minute and 5 seconds or something like that. And so what they'll do is they'll get a ward first. They'll come to blue side, right? And then they'll place a ward pretty much right where you're standing, right? To check, to see if they're coming from this little alley over here or if they're coming from over here, to see if the enemy jungler comes this way. Really, you just care about the blue buff mostly. But most people will put it like right here somewhere, right here where this camera is. And that's why I said you don't really need to do it. I said you could do it because your jungler clearly didn't come do this, right? But most good junglers will pull a ward right there. They'll go back. Then they'll buy sentry and then go red side, right? Go to red side to get that buff first. And then they'll play, right? And then since you have your blue side warded, the jungler, has an idea where they know where their jungler is not at, essentially, right? But then it becomes like a jungle mentality, right? So this is Boris versus Crunch. I feel like they probably have pretty equal clear speeds. It's not like a Sevarog versus a Boris. But, if your jungle clear is quick enough, then you can clear red, clear your blue, and go to their blue before, well, you can clear your blue, your red, and your blue, and then go to their red quicker than they can get over there to their blue, is what I'm trying to say. But that's jungle shit. And jungle shit is complicated, and I don't know how to jungle. So. But this game will be in 2x speed. This is a long-ass game. And I think we're just going to talk about, we're going to see. Because I think you went 2-7 or something like this game. But I know you got 2 kills early. So, here, it's whatever. I think you want to be in lane. Minions are going to meet in the middle at 1 minute. In every lane, essentially. So I would have liked for you to have already been in lane with a ward down. That's ideal. If you was going to be right there, you could have just went through the fog wall, placed a ward, and then came up here to lane. And you would have been right there where his ranged minions are. And you could have been hitting his ranged minions. So you're doing what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you were in the stream yet, but you're doing a good like playing footsies where you're hitting his minions, and like if he wants to hit your minions, he's got to hit you too, and then that's gonna get minion aggro. So that's good. That's like good placement of where you are when you were doing it. Okay? Now I don't like that you just hit him. That was unnecessary. It's okay. It was okay because there was only 2 minions. You know is what I'm saying. We're red team, which is interesting. We're dust side, so I got to keep reminding myself that. That was a good pull, but I think it was a tad early. It was a tad early. Now imagine if you did that pull now, right? You pulled him, right? Which was good pull. But imagine if you pulled him now while you got all these minions. You just did that pull a tad early. A tad early. The other thing to be mindful of with Akron too is Akron, as you can see, has no mana. He's like Chimera and he's like Eden, where Eden technically has a heat gauge, but it's the same fucking shit. They have rage. So these guys can stay in lane all fucking day. Their only rate limiting thing in lane is mana. I mean not mana, health and gold. Right? They can stay in lane forever. So it's always important for these characters to try and maintain a life advantage or pressure them by life because they don't give a fuck about mana. They don't. So you can't just like outweight them when it comes to mana, right? Like, and that's something that happens a lot in mid lane. You know, like Argus has really good wave clear, but he runs out of mana really quickly, really early. And so what you can do is you can play from behind a little bit, right? And then once they have no mana, you force them to choose like, oh fuck, am I gonna like back and lose some minion wave, or am I gonna stay here? But even if they stay, it's always better to back, by the way, because even if you stay, they're fucking mages in mid lane. They not gonna do shit. Basic attacks ain't doing nothing to you. And so if you have mana, even with a lower health advantage, right? That's the other way you trick low ranked people in mid. I know I'm kind of being tangential, but while it's on my mind, you know, if I'm at 50% health with mana and you're at 75% health with no mana, oh, I'm for sure staying. And I'm pushing up on you because all you can do is a basic attack. You know what I'm saying? I know that's not going to kill me. I know you don't have an escape unless you flash. And if you use your flash, that's still a win for me. Now you don't have flash for another 5 minutes. So like, and you still have to back. And you still going to lose your wave under tower. You know? And so that's like a super white flag. It's like there's no downside. But, you know, with these characters, you got to always be mindful of that, though. So. This is good. I prefer, like I said earlier, I like to hit the range minions first. I think it's just better. It's just better. I don't know why you're giving up so much space here. You know, I don't know his move set. I seen you pull, so I'm assuming that's his L1. But that looks like a dash to me. I don't know. I know he has a dash, but I'm assuming the pull is L1, and that R1 is like a bleed, I believe. L1 is a pull and R1 is a bleed, I believe. I don't play Grux. Yeah, as you can see, this spectator mode is trash. It always says you have 0 potions. I've noticed. It doesn't tell you when you flash, and it doesn't show you your accurate cooldown. So here, why are you backing? Oh, okay. Yeah, wait. I'm super confused right now. We're orange. Never mind. We're dusk. My bad. See, this is throwing me off because it's showing green, but that's not you. That's the enemy. Okay, we're dusk. Okay. Because I'm gonna say, why are you backing here? But never mind. That's good. You and then Grux. Oh man, too. Grux down here, man, super dangerous with that pull, bro. You can pull them under tower too. Yeah, you want to live in this area as Grux off lane. With a pull, live in this area. Act does have an escape, but you want to live in this area. I like all this. This is good. You're not being scared. You know, you have your escape, you have your teleport. You know, soak up as much XP as possible. He has a massive life gain, and this is why you always buy things like Tainted first. You know, I don't know what tainted item you would get on him. Tainted Bastion or something like that, maybe. I'm not sure what tainted item you would get on a Grux first. But something that punishes people for building health or like getting health is like always really good, right? And I know that there are some offlaners that get two tainted items. They'll get Tainted Guard and Tainted Bastion. I don't know if those abilities stack, but I do know that there are some builds in offlane that run double tainted. Um, Ack heals a lot. He's a character that heals a lot. I don't know his kit. I know that his ultimate heals, but he's healing even off of, without his ultimate. Hold on. That was big easy. He ain't want nothing. He's being nosy. Um, and so, like, he's obviously healing because I'm pretty sure you were doing damage to him. Like, I feel like unless I'm tripping, at some point this guy was like half health. Yeah, this dude never backed. He's half health at level 2. He never backs, right? And look at level 3. He has more health at level 3 than he did at level 2. Level 4, he's pretty much back at full health. You see what I'm saying? That's Ack. He heals a lot. He heals a lot. You know, so like I said, I like you're not playing too scared. You're baiting him because, right, if you're the opponent, right, you got to think, ooh, like if he messes up, I can kill him. You know, and so it's always good. You play safe. You tempt them. You know, just enough to stay around. You know, like this would be a great pull. I think this would have been a great pull, even probably a little earlier. I would say don't wait until you have. I'm trying to think. Should you wait until your minions are gone to pull? That's something you as a Grux player probably should find out or figure out, because that's what I'm gonna expect you to pull. I know you're gonna pull me as soon as this this minion wave thing. So if you do it like kind of when you wouldn't expect it, right? Then because it's not gonna target him. Like even if you pulled him right now, right? He has 3 minions, so the wave is not going to target him unless he does damage to you, right? So I would just pull him while you have minions anyway. Now, the alternative to that is you see this big ass eyeball. This is like his little AoE, right? If you pull him while this eyeball thing is here, this does dot damage. If you pull him as soon as like while this is going on, guess what? The tower is going to say, oh, you did damage to him. And then immediately shoot at him. Bro, the tower shots in this first 5 minutes of the game will fucking nuke you in like 2 shots. 2 shots. And so, say he shot that. You say that's how he's trying to wave clear, right? He's doing his big AoE shit, right? You pull the wave while he do that shit, you're getting hit by damage that he can't control because he already committed to the skill. The tower's gonna aggro him, and he's gonna at least get 1 shot, and that shit's gonna hurt. I died in this game. Whenever I die in this game, to this Wraith, my first death is to tower. I was at full health and I took 2 tower shots, and then Wraith sniped me. But you know, I fucked up my tower dive. But you know, like that's like my thought process. Okay, good. Not overcommit, and you got his flash. That's a win. Just take that. This nigga spraying. People don't spray no more, bro. You gotta get you an overhead emoji. People don't really spray like that no more. Okay. I don't know these items, so I can't really say, you know, what's good or not. You know, let me see, what is this? This is just some level 2 shit. Yeah, physical power. Okay. So, again, love that the wave is right here. But you're getting destroyed in last hits, bro. And the thing is this shit not even going under tower like that. This shit's not even going under tower. Meaning you have, like, not really no reason not to have, like, much higher CS. You just gotta practice. You gotta practice your last hits. You know, this is unacceptable. You're gonna always be behind. You're gonna always be behind like this. When you were low health, it's good. You know, you don't want to die, right? So like, when you're low health, you're playing properly, right? But you got to get better at last hitting under tower, and then times like this, you should be slow pushing, right? So it's good, right? Right now, like just counting, you got 5 and 5, right? So this is pretty much a net neutral wave, right? It's 5 minions on 5 minions. So you just do a little bit of damage. You just do a little bit of damage, and then you don't do nothing. You let it, there you go. Yep, just like that. But you're doing too much damage. I wouldn't even do all this shit. You know, just get my last hit. Boom, boom, boom. You gotta catch up. And so now, you got more minion waves. So now if you want to be a little aggressive, now's your opportunity. I don't know which is going to happen. Let's see what you do. But you should be up there. You just, it's almost like, you know, when I see you do this, this reminds me of like Super Smash Bros, right? And let's say you're on Final Destination map, right? Final Destination map is just a platform, okay? The strongest position on the map is like right in the center, right? So if you consider this lane, right? This lane, anytime your guys are in this lane right here, if you could imagine in between of these minions being the center of Final Destination, you're off the map. I mean, that's kind of an exaggeration, but you're off the map. No one is going to willingly just walk off of the Final Destination map because it's hard to get back into the middle. They have control because they're on the platform and you're free floating to your death. So it's, you know, it's not the greatest metaphor, but it's the first thing I thought of. And so when you do that, when you're doing this, you're just giving him all this freedom. You need to get to the other side, start doing damage to those ranged minions, and force him to choose whether he wants to, you know, like play footsies with you, or if he's just going to try and clear faster than you, or whatever. But don't just give him, you know, the freedom to do whatever he wants, because that's kind of how it feels. Now, it was okay. It's not that bad. It's not that bad right now because you had like a decent minion wave from your slow push that, you know, you had a little bit more minions. But, you know, you just kind of squandered it is what I'm trying to say. You know, it would have been better because already you pretty much only got 1 minion and he got 3 minions. So now you're going to have to back again, right? That's exactly what happens. And so, like, you had an opportunity to kind of push it a little bit or at least do some damage to him, you know, more damage. And so this, you should be pulling him. You should be doing something right now, bleeding, some sort of poke. You just taking minion damage. You ain't got no minions to worry about. There you go. A little bit too late, but you got to like acknowledge that quicker. Because it looked like you thought about it or you realized it, but it was just a little too late. Okay, you're going in, but these are not your minions, I don't believe. Those are not your minions. So this is not a good poke. Now, you did this on accident, but it's good that you you went into the fog wall. When you went into the fog wall, half of this minion wave, when you go into the fog wall, you break line of sight, and so the minions stop aggroing you. And so, like, when you broke that line of sight, half the minions went under tower, as you can see. And so now you have only 2 minions on you, which is kind of negligible. So that's nice. The second thing is this dude used his web already. I saw his little web shit on the ground. I'm pretty sure that's his escape. So this guy has no escape, I think, outside of... He already used his blink, I think, because Crunch rotated. So here, now you're good. You survive his ult, and you just win. So that was good. That was great. That was excellent. You know, I think you accidentally did the fog wall thing, but that's good to remember. If you use these fog walls, the minions will stop aggroing you, and if they're too far away, then they won't re-aggro you. Same thing with these pillars over here. If you move around the pillars to the point where the minions can't see you, you'll break their aggro. So here, if you're gonna do this, you gotta determine whether or not. Okay, it looks like you're gonna push. Okay, that's fine. That's good. You look, see no cyan buff, and you back. It's a good time to back. Except your lane's fucked. That shit stopped in front of his tower. So now he's now he has lane prio. So that list sucks. That just tells you that maybe a slow push would have been better. You know, and it's good to like look at. Generally, what I look is I'll glance at the map and see if there's another minion wave coming, and I kind of just guesstimate like, oh, I don't think this is gonna make it into the tower. So instead, I'm just going to slow push. So you cleared their entire wave, right? But what you could have done was just hit a couple minions so that you had like 3 minions or 2 minions. And hold on 1 second. I gotta open the door for that. All right, I'm sorry. My wife got me some coffee. I had to open. Where are you taking it? To the table? Okay. Jazz got me some coffee. Um, and so what you could have done here that would have been good is instead of clearing that entire wave, just hit the wave enough so you had 1 or 2 minion advantage, and then you backed, right? Because then instead of the wave, you would have been like working towards a slow push, but it wouldn't have been a full slow push, right? Your next wave would have been more than his wave, right? But the lane would have probably still been relatively in the center, you know, rather than completely cooked. If that makes sense, you know, you could have just did it that way. So we back. That was a good back. It could have been just a little bit better because if this Akron doesn't push your wave, now you're playing on his territory and you don't want to do that. That's not ideal.
An allied tower is under attack.
So he pushed wave. You got a wave under your tower. I don't know. Your controller died, but you're missing out on this. You're missing out on this farm, and he's ahead. So when it's like this, when you're this is not good. Like right now, you're already. I think in the last game you saw, I died twice. You know, I died twice to that um, Bale and stuff, and he was never more than like 200 gold. He was never more than like 200 gold higher than me. This guy is already like 300 gold higher than you, even though you killed him. You get what I'm saying? So despite your being up on a kill, he's, I would say, still up by every other metric because he has more gold, which in turns to more items, right? And he has higher CS. So he still has more experience in gold despite him dying. At this point, if I was you and I see, hey, this guy almost has twice as much CS as me, I'm slow pushing everything. I'm slow pushing everything. Honestly. And so obviously he is here. You can only slow push if he's not here. But whenever those opportunities arise, definitely need to be slow pushing. And I don't know. Like I said, I know you got 2 kills early, so I'm curious to see when this next kill pops up. And I wonder, like right now, you're playing under a deficit and you're still doing well, right? Imagine if you were up this on this guy. Imagine if shit was swapped. If you had the good CS and the gold over him, you know, you could just snowball. You know, I wonder. I don't know who was killing you, you know, and stuff like that. But like, I wonder if it got to a point where you couldn't overcome it. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't overcome the CS deficit and the gold difference because he got more items than you and stuff like that, or you didn't realize he's like ahead of you in that way, and You engaged and then got messed up. So we'll see. That was almost a good pull. There you go. Okay, good. I like the ward placement. I was wondering if you was going to do that. I feel like that pull, you weren't even trying to get the act just then. And I don't like that. I feel like if you have an AoE ability, right? You should always be trying to get, do some damage to the opponent, right? And so when you did this, I don't know if you tried to get the act at all. You might have, because I know there's not a lot of. It's like conal, the AoE for that, but it don't go like laterally. It doesn't expand a lot. It goes really deep, but not really that far to the outside. So, you want to position yourself. It's all about positioning so that you can try to maximize doing damage to both the lane minions and your opponent. I'm kind of enjoying this. I think I'm gonna do a mid lane one too. I know you like Gideon. I was trying to grab him. I know you like Gideon too, and I'll be more comfortable talking to you about mid lane too. I've been playing a lot of Faye and going through like one of my Faye gameplays. I think it'd be fun for you, because I'm assuming my guesstimate is you're gonna play. I mean, the reason I picked mid and support, right, is because there's decent overlap between those positions, right? You got Arya support, you got Bella support. People often play Gadget and Phase support. People play Rena support. Would I play any of those? Probably not. But, because I played Bellica and I played Argus, it was very easy going from... I didn't have to think about the character, learning a new character. I could just focus on learning support. You get what I'm saying? And so, to me, if you play off lane, to me, it makes more sense to just learn jungle, right? Because if you play Grux, right, what else is Grux good at? Jungle. If you're comfortable with playing Grux, then you could just focus on learning how to jungle, rather than if you, like I know you said you're interested in Terra, right? If you tried to play jungle Terra, you got to learn Terra as a character and jungle. But the thing about jungle is I don't know how to jungle, and I'm not confident enough to talk to you about jungle. But I do know you like Gideon, and so if you're interested, I'll go over a mid game play. We're gonna go over a mid game play because I'm having fun right now talking about these replays, and I want to go over a really, really good game I had recently with Faye, actually. Okay, I love that. That was a beautiful pull. That's what I'm talking about. Pulled him, got him in there. Right now, I think your problem is last hitting. We're struggling a lot on last hits. And I don't know what item you're building first. Like I said, I don't know these items because I don't play these roles. But you absolutely, for future reference, against Akron, pretty much no matter who you are, should be going Tainted something first. Whether it be Tainted Guard or Tainted Bastion, or I think I would assume Tainted Guard is probably more common, right? Because Tainted Guard reduces their ability to heal when they hit you. I don't know what Tainted Bastion is. Excuse me. So okay. I don't know what you're doing right now. I don't know if you just weren't paying attention to your map, but there's no reason you should be under tower and your crunch is in mid lane. Sock 'em bopping Acheron.
An enemy has been slain. Yeah. That was pretty bad on your part. I just don't think you noticed the crunch or something. Like, you didn't realize the crunch was doing that. So just, kind of being aware about that. Because you were under tower, and I mean, literally Akron was in the goddamn air from crunch uppercutting this nigga to oblivion. Like, you should have been there. You should have been there. And I mean, it worked out, right? No one died, and you guys got the kill. but look how much damage the crunch had to take, right? You have jungle. The order in which people generally hit level 18 is off lane hits 18 first. What there's something in the game's coding where when you're in off lane, the minions in off lane give you more experience. So off laners have level advantage over everybody first. Then it's carry or mid lane. Carry or mid lane, depending on who's going crazy and stuff like that. They're usually around the same level. If everything's standard, I think mid lane usually out levels duo lane. But if duo is going crazy, it's not uncommon for duo to have a higher level than mid lane. And then you have jungle, and then support is usually the lowest level, right? I say that because this crunch, I don't think is doing bad. This crunch is actually doing terrible. Doing terrible. But the point is, he's under level, and he's gonna always be under level unless he goes absolutely bananas. And so there's gonna be a level difference in which the advantage will always be for Acheron. And so, so it's important for you to help. I mean, that's how they balance jungle, right? They're under level. So when they come and gank, they can't just kill someone every time they gank. It's important for the other people in the lane to also be present. Because if he died, he would have been pissed at you. That's the other thing. He would have been pissed because he was like, "Oh, I came over here and ganked, and you were under tower. Where were you? You know." And so he could have did things like attack right lane or whatever, like things like that. He didn't. So it's just important to always look at your map. I'm always looking at my map, constantly looking at my map, dude. And just being used to that. In the middle of fights, I'm looking at my map. When I'm running away, I'm looking at my map. When I'm not doing shit in lane, I'm looking at my map. You know, it's always important to just be looking at your map. Um, so, yeah, that's that. Still on that one. Yeah, under tower, that's good. You got 6. Get you a fair plate. Get out of there. Okay, you missed the other orb, the other plate. They have proximity to them, and they go to where you are. So if you're standing on the side of that, right, that's where those plates are going to go. So you want to stay over here on this side when you get a plate from the tower, because that's where these orbs are going to go to, the direction that you want to run. But since you were over here and the plates went over here, you missed one. These don't stay forever. I don't know the time on them, but they don't stay forever. And I mean, you have time to go get it, but you just missed out on like 150 gold or something like that.
An allied tower is under attack.
So lane crashed back in the middle because your wave died. Your wave died under tower, so it crashed in the middle. Acheron pushed, and now his wave is under your tower. I don't like this. This is you kind of broke a rule. I'll say, actually, you know what? I'll give you a benefit of doubt because the Acheron's right there in your face. But ideally, say that Acheron wasn't there. Say the Acheron wasn't there. You want to take this minion aggro, and you want to keep them right here outside this tower. So when your lane comes, that's where they meet at, right? What did you get? Basilisk? I don't know what Basilisk does. Reduce physical armor. Does Earthshaker give you Overlord give you armor? No. So this is useless. So off lane, and you'll get better at this. Like I said, I'm not comfortable with these items, these physical and melee items. I'm not really good with that. Once you start building items enough, the same items over and over and over, combustion, Noxia, Wraith leggings, Megacosm, you know, prophecy. When you start seeing the order in which people get items, you know what they're gonna get. You know what they're gonna get, right? Now the problem is you got Basilisk. Basilisk says reduces physical armor, stacks up to 6, whatever. They become eroded, you gain movement speed. That's fine, that's all good again. But most people probably get this for the reducing their physical armor. The problem is, this nigga don't got nothing with physical armor. He got physical power and health. So, something safe. Like, you pick something that would be good as a third or fourth item. Because you could see what they were building by then, right? You could see if they had built physical armor in their kit by that point, right? But you built that first. And he didn't build anything with physical armor. So you're not getting full value of that item. Now imagine if you went Tainted Guard, right? Or Tainted Bastion first, right? We know that this character in its kit inherently heals a lot, right? From his ult and from his little AoE shit. I don't know what his augment is either. Oh, this is the web slinger augment. It's important too. Always look at your opponent's augments. Always. That's super important. But anyway, you know, think of how much better this laning would have been for you if you got a little bit more defense and then you also got something that didn't let him heal, right? It would have been a much better laning phase for you. Much better laning phase. So I don't think Basilisk first item is something I would do based on what I know about the item. And again, you just giving up position, just giving up. And even then, and you're too far back. If your minions were to accidentally kill one of his minions, you're not getting the XP from right here. You need to be closer. There's no reason for you to be right here. Thank you, baby. There's no reason for you to be right here. You didn't get no XP from at least the one minion your wave had just killed of his. So right here, right, you got Crunch at his 4 camp. Crunch is gonna go 4 camp, 3 camp, and then it'll be right here to you. Now, and he has a ward there, right? He has a ward at the river. He's blue. He has ward at the river. So looking at your map, super important. Looking at your Crunch is at his blue right now. Actually, your Crunch is at his blue. He already went to the 4 camp. He's gonna go 4 camp, blue, 3 camp. He's gonna be right here. So guess where you want this Acheron? This Acheron just placed his ward in the river. You want Acheron right here. So this dude can get rock'em sock'em bop'em again. So now you kind of want to do what you last did. Don't want to contest lane too much, right? You want to give him lane a little bit, you know, let him feel safe and feel like he got the advantage. He already got a little bit of HP advantage on you. You know, you want to goad him a little bit, bait him into it a little bit, right? Know that in the next 15 to 30 seconds, your Crunch is going to be right there. So this is all really, really good, you know, pretty good. Crunch, unfortunately, went mid for some reason. Not sure why. That Crunch should have went to his 3 camp that's up. Wait, let me make sure this 3 camp is up, because I don't understand why this Crunch just did this. So we're going to go to drone. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. This shit is hard. What the? Okay, okay, that's why I got it messed up. Yeah. This makes no sense. He went to his 4 camp, went to blue, and then went mid. Why? This jungle, I remember this game. We had a massive jungle diff. I remember when I died to that Boris. I'm like, who the hell fed this Boris like that? Look at our jungle. 56 CS to 123 CS. He's at 56 CS because when there's a fucking camp available for him, he's going mid lane. I don't need him to gank. And the Wraith is on the Wraith's side. He's on blue side. Makes no sense. So, whatever. He sold you. He sold you. Because he should have went 3 camp. And most jungles would go 3 camp. And then they would have been right here. So, I think you played it correctly. Even though
you know, you didn't have that support from your crunch. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, good pull. I probably would have waited. He kind of gave you some space, so that would have been a good time where you could have took some minion aggro to freeze the lane in front of your tower. And if he stepped up, then you could have pulled him, you know, or something like that. But you know, you're letting a lot of minions go under tower. But you're doing okay on farm. You're catching up, I think. You were at like 30 something farm behind, and now you're 20. I mean, you're still pretty much at 30. So you're not falling any more behind. So you're doing what you're supposed to. You're at least keeping up. You know, you're not, but I don't know if I like this back. Why are you back in here? I guess if you have an item, if you have a full item, that's pretty good.
An enemy has been slain.
But you went back for half an item. So you just lost another minion wave. They crashed on the tower, so now we're in mid. So I see what's going on. You're really only fighting minions in the middle if he's not there. So the way I interpret that is you're playing scared. You can't play scared. But you do need to build better. It's fine. Like I said, I would go tainted first. Tainted first. And then like this. Like you're not even trying. You're not even trying. Okay. We got there we go. You notice crunch this time. At this point he had flash. That's a jungle problem, right? Jungle is so complicated because it's like you're on like this big time schedules. Jungle is just very overwhelming. It's very overwhelming because it's just like you're just thrown in the map and there's so much for you to do. Everybody else has a lane, you know your lane and things like that. And jungle is like, oh, you need to go get these camps. You need to go get these camps. You need to go invade their camps. You need to be here for these buffs and these buffs and these objectives. And you also need to gank these people. And then you need to know like, oh, this person used their flash. So they're on a 5-minute cooldown. So I need to come back over here within the next 5 minutes on top of everything else to see if I can get another good gank if opportunity arises. And so jungle is very, very complicated. It's by far, I think, the hardest lane. I think the hardest lane is jungle, and then I think it's mid lane. I used to think off lane was the easiest, but I do believe off lane is probably the third hardest. It's just like neutral. It's the one where it's just you and someone else, because I think off lane doesn't get support that often and things like that, and it's off lane. You really can't even expect support, you know. They should only be over there if they're over there anyway. You know, the jungle should stay mostly over by Fang, especially if Fang is up. If Fang is up, off lane shouldn't even open their mouth for help, because that jungle needs to be near Fang. That's way more important. And so off lane is just like it's a 1v1, man. Like, who's gonna be who's the better laner? You know what I'm saying? This type thing. And then I think support is harder than carry. I do. Carry, I think, is the easiest lane, the easiest role actually. It's just it's really unga bunga me shoot opponent, you know, type thing. Because everyone has to do last hits. I mean, jungle don't have to last hit, but every laner has to last hit. So you can't say, oh, like, well, we have to last hit. Like, that's stupid. You know, carry's job is to just do damage. That's it. So I actually think carry is the easiest role. I think support is probably the second easiest, and off lane is like third. But yeah, that's my little skill on role. This was unfortunate. Let me see. Actually, I need to go back because I want to ask myself. I want to ask. Let's go back a little bit more. So, I want to see this crunch, right? And I just want to see the crunch real quick because you have to. I like I appreciate it. I like that you came over there and tried to help your teammate. That's very, very nice.
Is there any charger here?
No, there's no charger over here, my love.
You use it?
I'm not using it. There's no charger here, baby. And so I love that you're trying to help, right? But you need to have a little bit of self-preservation, right? There's no saving this guy. This what's his name? Boris is fed to hell, right? This dude was getting decimated. The minute this crunch died, you were dead. I'm sorry. You were dead the minute he died. Because there was no way for you to get out of this. You might as well have just tried to fight it out rather than running away. You were dead immediately, pretty much. Nothing you could do. So you wasted a flash, is my point. Don't flash unless you're confident you can get away. You weren't getting away from this. Better to just save your flash for next time. That's the spiel for this one. But it's a good thought. But have some self-preservation. Don't go dying to try and save someone else. Because then all you just did was now they got 2 kills instead of 1. That's it, you know? Now, it's 17 minutes. It's not terrible time to lose your tower. I think my problem here is that the problem here, yeah, this is getting bad. This is what I anticipated, right? Or what I was talking about earlier. So when you had 2 kills up on him, you know, I said it probably got to a point where you can't overcome that difference, right? He has over 1,000 gold than you. He has like 1,300 gold almost up on you. That's like an item and a half. That's like half an item almost, right? If you say like most items are like 28, you know, he's like half an item up on you, right? But he also has 50 CS higher than you. So you're at a point where you're the mark, like he's separating from you. He's getting too strong. He's separating from you, okay? So now it was like you were in a position where you didn't have to play so passively. But now you have to play passively. You didn't give yourself an option at this point, right? And back to what I was saying about it earlier is like now you need to slow push everything. He's going to be free to roam. So you have to tell your teammates, hey, enemy missing off lane, enemy missing. To just at least give them the awareness. Because I do believe Acheron comes to my lane over here around this time. And I get away. But, yeah, I think Acheron's coming back over to you. There was at some point, I do remember seeing Acheron. So you got to slow push everything. You need to be slow pushing everything. If he's in lane, you got to respect it. You're too far back. You're not doing anything back here. 0.
An enemy has been slain. An allied tower is under attack.
I'm confused with what you're doing here.
Has been destroyed.
Honestly, this is sad to say, right? A lot of times, hold on one second.
Give me 5 minutes, man. It looks beautiful. I'm sorry, Jazz was showing me a video of one of our potential houses. Um, let me see. So again, another problem. Just to like reiterate what I was talking about. This guy got Mega Cosm second. Still no physical armor for Basilisk to work, to work on. Um, yeah. In fact, he's kind of counter building you a little bit. I'm sure he's not doing it on purpose at this rank, but he's probably counter building you a little bit because Mega Cosm deals damage based on max health and you have a health item. So super important. And then also to just kind of highlight the difference, right, in terms of items. Look at items, right? You got one full item. He has 2.5 items.
She's loving me. I know she was.
Can't slow push under tower, so that's unfortunate. You know, you gotta just. The thing about it is like even though it's annoying that this Akron is in your lane, right? But if this was a good jungle, if say the jungle was good, he's always in prime ganking position, right? Because look how far he is from his tower, right? That's one thing. Second thing is if he's in your lane, he's not harassing other people, right? He's not establishing a 2v1 or 3v2 or whatever somewhere else. So it's good. Sometimes if you know you're behind, you just have to make them respect you still. Keep them, let them realize you're not too far behind, type thing. There have been times where I've been off lane and I haven't done great, but as long as you're not feeding, right? As long as you're not feeding, and as long as you're not just completely running it down, you're okay. You're in like a halfway decent position, right? So here, it was good that you stopped it before the lane. So, I don't know. I'm not seeing pings in here, but he just TP'd to the other side. So this is somewhere where you got to be like, oh, this is where like a instance where you have to be like, oh, I start to feed in a little bit. Yeah, that's what you just don't do. You can't start feeding. That's the worst thing you can do. I mean, you lost this lane. You lost this lane. He got a quarter of your T2, and his T1 is still up. And then he's like 70 CS above you and almost 2k gold above you. Like, there's nothing about that you could do. So here, look like you mess with your settings again. You got to let them know that, oh, I forgot, we're not blue. That's, never mind. I was about to say, you got to let them know that Ak is coming over there, but that's his team, so it don't matter. So here, I actually agree with pushing, right? Because we know Boris, we know Boris is in their lane, I believe, right? I can't see. Yeah, we know Boris is in duo. We know Ak just TP'd. You know that you're free as fuck in this lane right now. So I hope that you take this tower. You got to punish him for stuff like this. And so, like, this tower, gone, right? You know where Boris is. And it looks like you do that. Wraith comes over here, right? I'm pretty sure I mentioned Wraith being over here or something, maybe. But then Ak comes back over. Oh, you know what? That's right. I did tell you. I remember this because I said Wraith is coming over there. Then I was like, why the fuck are you running in their jungle? Yeah, that was interesting. Don't do that. Don't do that. You could have just came, like, straight back. That's it. You come straight back. Run straight back down your lane. Oh, yeah. I'm having that tonight. I would say, okay, the jungle is good, right? Actually, let's... Alright, here, let me see. Actually, let's go back. I want to break down that escape attempt again. Just a little bit better. Let's break this down again. So... Okay, so we're here, right? Okay. Wraith, I'm telling you, Wraith's coming, right? I'm telling you, Wraith's coming. I know we have this conversation. Personally, another thing, does using abilities on the tower help? Yes, it does a little bit more damage, but I don't generally use abilities on towers, usually, personally. My philosophy, personally. Because if Wraith or somebody comes, you might need that ability. So usually, I try not to use it, you know? Now, one of the other things is like, so you get hit by this Wraith thing, and so you go this way. I understand that. I get that. But you ran right into an ack because you're closer to their base. Okay? Let me actually go into drone mode for this and take this off. So, where does the Wraith go? Boom, right here. Right? He goes right there. Now you know you got two people chasing you. It's not looking good. Not looking good. Now, I think what I would have done. Now, all of this, it might not have mattered whatsoever, right? Because the problem is Wraith can rewind you, right? If he has his ult, you're cooked either way, right? He places a ward, typical. Places a ward. He knows you're not coming that way, so he goes this way. Very smart. That's good play for him. I mean, I can't even really say what you should have done. You're cooked either way because of their positioning.
She said, it's such a cute house. It's mostly wooded. The 3
1
acres.
second. I really like that house a lot. So I know you love that house. And, you know, Charlottesville houses are flying off the market, clearly. So I think you're cooked on this. I don't really think there was much you could have done, to be quite honest. Um, I believe, I don't remember when you got ganked. I don't know if you have your flash. I actually don't think you have your flash. I think you died at like 17 minutes when you tried to help the crunch over here. I can't remember what time that was. I believe that was like at 17 minutes. But they played that really well because I was going to say you could have like came through here, flashed this way, right? Flash this way, and then Ack would have been gone. There was like pretty much nothing Ack could have done, kinda, sorta. What I mean, he could have used his web thing and came over here, maybe. You just had to worry about Wraith, or you know, you could say Wraith came up here. If Wraith came up here, you could have walked into the 5 camp and then flashed over this wall, right? Though that's also an option. Mac, what are you doing? And then that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. Everything else you're cooked. You didn't even make it to over here to where you could, come over here. So I think the best play, honestly, you probably did the worst thing possible because Ack was there. So I know you didn't know Ack was there, but you ran into a second enemy. So if Ack wasn't there, it was like a risky play. If Ack wasn't there, you probably did the right thing. But since Ack was there, that's probably the worst possible thing. You probably could have fought the Wraith too. You have to realize he's a mage, ranged hero. A lot of your damage is going to come strictly off of basics. So running into the Wraith, not a terrible idea, not a terrible idea.
An enemy has been slain. An allied tower has been destroyed. An allied tower.
He said, "Oh, the feeding is gonna start, brother."
we won this game, so don't worry. You know, nothing you did stopped us from winning. You know, I understand wanting to be more contributory. It's all good. It happens. You gotta give yourself a grace. You know, you ain't even played 10 games yet. You don't, nigga, I promise. I was getting flamed in my games too when I first came back, so. I was getting flamed too. Yeah, I'm not running no more as Grux. I'm going down swinging. Grux doesn't have the best escape. So you have to. Do people legit play this game? Yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like most of my queue times are easily 30 seconds. Most of them within 30 seconds. Unless you hit like diamond or plat, your queue times are going to be less than a minute. I'm going down swinging. So that's probably a good philosophy in most cases. In most cases, I feel like far too often people run away when they don't need to, and it's fine. This is a really long game. This is a really long game. I might take this. I'm gonna put this on 3 times speed because I don't know how much more. Oh, 4 times speed. I don't know how much more. Okay. I mean, yeah, Isaac. It's free to play, bro. It's free to play. So like, it's free to play. They do weekly like rotations of characters you can trial, and stuff like this. This play that you're doing right now, I don't know why you're doing it. Is what I'm trying to say. This is all time wasted. Not doing anything. Did we help with a gank? Did we end up ganking? Is Fang up? Fang's not up. Yeah, you're on the complete other side of the map, brother. And look at your tower. He has a massive wave going towards your tower now. I think this didn't bite us in the butt because we won the team fight. But I think just pushing lane would have been better, right? Why do I say that? Okay, let's take a step back, okay? Ak was in lane, you left lane, right? We won the team fight. Did we win the team fight because of you? Maybe not, right? But Ak slow pushed your tower, and now you lost tower, right? Now imagine if we won that fight and you were still in your lane and Ak decided to go over there. Well, now we got their T2 or their inhib, right? And it's not like you TP'd to the other side. You walked from off lane all the way past Fangtooth. That's a lot of distance traveled. That's a lot of time not being in lane and not really doing anything, right? But we got the kills, so it's fine. But I think optimal, you should have just stayed in lane. You should stay. If my lane isn't pushed, right? It was not even like it was pushed. It was in. He still has his T1 up. Oh my God, I'm looking at the wrong shit. Oh yeah, brother, you should not have rotated. He was in your lane. You don't rotate when someone's in your lane like that, unless like he can rotate. Because look at where your tower is. You don't have a tower, so if that's pushed to inhib, he's super free to go somewhere. Because it's going to take a while before that. It's going to take a while before the lane minions get to his lane, right? And we're 24 minutes in the game. Who the fuck cares about a T1 tower at this point? So even if he decides to stay out of lane a little bit longer, he still got 2 towers before his inhib. You don't have that luxury. So you probably should have stayed in lane. If we won that team fight and he decided to back, because that would make sense. Our duo is at their inhib. So if he decided to back, he was like, hey, I want to back because they're pushing inhib. I still have these towers. I have some wiggle room. They don't. Then guess what? Now we're even, because now you done got both of their towers realistically, because that Akron ended up dying once he rotated over there.
So again, I don't know why you're not in your lane. You're fucking de-warding. And Acheron is in your lane. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. You just doing random shit now. And you're just doing random shit. You're letting him split push for free. The only thing that's kind of helping is that we're winning team fights. Right? Because again, he's gonna have. It looks like he's gonna have your lane slow push. Since he's just slow pushing, he's free to move, and he has all the power. There's no. You can't have a T1 up this long. You can't even gank. You see what I'm saying? The Crunch tried to come over here. As bad as this Crunch is doing, 0-8 is ridiculous. This dude has half the gold as their fucking jungler. Anyway, he tried to gank. You can't even gank because he still has his power and he's safe under. 28 minutes. You can't have this. Again, you're not putting no pressure on him. Every time you see this Acheron, you just, I mean, no contest. You just give up everything.
An allied inhibitor is under attack. Contact!
Himby, Hazard Arcade. He's trying to get back into Predecessor. Shut up. You're trash. Isaac, shut up, bro. No, but we're related. And he's trying to get back into Predecessor. He played Paragon. And he played a little bit of Pred, but it's been a long time since he's played. And, you know, I want him to, like, get in the mentality of it, you know? This is only, like, game 3 or 4. It's only literally, like, his 4th game. Like, I was no better in my 4th game. It just took me a lot longer because I didn't have anyone telling me what I was doing right or wrong, you know? So I was trash way longer. I want him to do better than me. Okay, so you got the tower. I like you. You decided to leave, but I don't like the way you left. You went into their jungle. Like, oh my god. All right, we're not gonna act like we didn't just see you fail that flash. We not gonna act like you didn't just fail that flash. I saw that. I saw that. How you mess up a flash over this little wall? Nah, dude. Oh man, that reminds me. Hazard, there's this video, or there was this time I was Howie, and I got ganked in mid lane, and I was safe under tower. I was under tower. I was safe, and then I don't know, bro. I used Howie's little blast mine, and booped myself out of tower, and died, because they were right there still. Bro, it was the craziest shit. Alright. Yeah, you're running it down now. I don't like that way. This is your second time trying to go into their jungle as like a way to get out of here. If they're coming from... Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Drone. Okay. So if they're coming from here, right? First things first is they can only see you if one of his teammates see you. Right, so if you start backing up, right, you know he's coming or whatever, you start backing up, pause by the way, you start backing up sooner, right, he's gonna lose sight of you. And so this Wraith who's coming from mid lane has to guess, right, he has to guess, are you going this way, or are you going in jungle? You made it easy for him because you ran into him twice now, or ran into one of them twice now, you know. But if you come out here, right, you can go over here. You could TP. You could come this way, right? Play mind games with the Wraith over here using these jump pads. Wraiths, snipes don't go through walls anymore, right? But then also, by the time you make it over here, it starts to get dangerous for them to stay around too long, because then they're susceptible to a counter gank. They're not safe over here. So I don't like the idea of going into their jungle unless you like have to. You know, it's just usually not a good thing. Not a good thing. But I think we're okay with this. I think we've seen enough. I think for the most part, you got a good idea. I don't want to watch this one. We're not gonna watch this one, or this one. I mean, this game was not good. But I do want to show you a good mid lane game. Let's do this. We'll do this one. Iggy games are kind of boring. We can watch an Iggy game if you want. But I like Faye. I've been playing a lot of Faye lately, right? And so if you want to get into mid lane, just briefly going over some mid lane stuff. Let's go to Hero Chase. It's not me. So we're on Dawn's side, okay? Alright. This game's not terribly long. We can probably watch it at 2 times speed too, though. So, alright. So, just starting off, looking at their team, they have a well-composed team. Chimera Jungle is kind of annoying for Faye because, oh no. Chimera Jungle is kind of annoying for Faye simply because he can just straight up remove my ult. He has like a cleanse, essentially. They gave Chimera a cleanse. So he can just cleanse my ult every time I do it. And I think you'll see at least twice in this game where he cleanses my ult. Okay. So the nice thing about playing mid lane compared to playing like off lane or support is you don't have to counter build. Like when you play carry or mid lane, your goal, you just play whatever shit does the most damage, pretty much. There's no counter builds. There are little things you can counter build, right? So say this was a Grim mid lane, I would build a little bit different for a Grim mid lane, you know, to kind of help me early game. Or, and that's still not necessary. Some people might argue that's not necessary. Or, if I'm playing like Bellica, you know, Bellica and her stupid drone, you know, I might, instead of getting an item, just start off with a Divine Pot so that I have better sustain in lane early. So, 1 minute. First thing I do, I don't usually poke too much. What augment am I using? Okay, so this is not my usual augment, but I've been trying to, I usually do the other augment, but this augment is really good for poking. It's essentially an augment good for poking. And so that's going to be my game plan in this game. Is just I'm going to poke a lot. That's my game, my goal. And so Argus, you just have to worry about, when he hits like level 8 or something like that, 8 or 9, something like that, his right mouse button becomes an infinite, right? He can cast that shit forever. The other thing is he clears waves hella fast. So it's always better to have a life advantage. You know, very similar concept to when you're in off lane. Whenever I'm doing my AoE stuff, maximizing its efficacy, right? I want to hit as many minions as possible and also poke the other laners. So boom, I hit every minion and even got some from Argus. And that's all positioning, you know, in mid lane pretty much. So I'm clearing wave faster than him, right? So he's having to use his little thingy majigger, his right mouse button. That is going to eat his mana up really early on. Now Argus has a augment that when he does damage to a hero with his abilities, he gets some mana return or mana regen back. He's not using that augment. So I know when he's using this right now, he's expending a lot of mana. And I think that'll be relevant later. So again, poke them with the ability. So I think in lower ranks, I like to put a ward here at the second minion wave, right? Because if they are a hero with a fast clear, or they're just a really bad jungler, then around 2 minutes is when they'll start coming towards me. That's when they're going to start walking towards the river and walking towards me. And as you can see, this fucking Chimera is right here at his 2 camp. Now, I don't know he's at his 2 camp, but I understand trash players. And so my goal is to place it in a area where if he's coming from over here, I have a little bit of time. But also if he's walking this way, I'll see him. And that's always the goal. Okay. And now he should go over to his blue side. He should go to his blue side. Or he should go to our blue side next. But sometimes these guys will come here. So I always place at the second minion wave, I'll place. You play near your ward. Wherever you have your ward, that's where you have vision. So you play near it. If I play over there, I don't know what the fuck is on the other side of this fog wall. So it don't make sense for me to play it. Play near your ward. Also, I'm using this wall. Argus can't hit me from this wall, right? He can't use his abilities on me from this wall usually. And if I accidentally get his aggro, I can use this wall to break line of sight from the minions so that they won't shoot at me.
An allied tower is under attack.
So I'm just backing up. I don't know where the Chimera is still.
Make sure my door is closed.
So I know the wave is going to be relatively in the middle. So he's using a lot of mana. But I don't want the wave to be too crazy when it start coming to me. So I'm using some abilities to try and keep it a little bit even. I'm holding aggro in front of my tower. Same concept. I don't want this to go on the tower. And I saw Fang start stepping up, so I'm trying to step up a little bit, but whatever. I didn't know Fang was going to use his teleport to jump up here. I thought he would go around or something. But he just like blinked up there. And you see? Slow pushing. Where does Argus have to be? Argus knows that Fang is not far. He can't do shit. Because this wave is right here in front of my tower. This is why it's so important to control, have good wave management. Because I don't have to do nothing. I'm doing a little bit, right? Because we both have 5 minions. So I want to slow push this. So I want to do a little bit of damage so that, the wave slow pushes. I noticed that he was gone for a little bit. Didn't realize where until late, but it's fine. I don't die over river buffs. Don't die over any buffs. Right? I don't care that he gets both river buffs. It sucks a little bit because he had no mana. So if I paid attention to it a little bit sooner, because my ward had disappeared, which is the problem. But if I paid attention to it a little bit sooner, I could have challenged him for that. He had no mana and he was an Argus trying to get river buff. You challenge those 100% of the time. If your opponent laner has no mana and they go for river buff and you have mana, oh, you want that all the time. So, but whatever. I just go back to slow pushing because whatever. Even if he gets both lanes or both river buffs, it's not worth dying. It's not worth challenging. And then so he steps up. I have a big wave. I know that this wave is going to push into him. He already used one of his stun abilities, so I don't have to worry about being stunned. I'm just doing a little pokey poke, making him respect it. A lot of the same, making sure he hits both.
And again, already he got both river buffs. Look at his mana. I have more mana than him, and he got both river buffs. He's also, but we're at the exact same CS. What happened? What did he do? What did he do? One second, Bandadad. Alright, sorry. Had to discipline myself. Okay. So, boom. Stepping up. He has no mana. No mana. I'm free to do whatever I want. I know he can use it. So I'm poking him. I'm poking him, and then you turn back around. It's okay to miss one or two last hits on the minion for that HP advantage. Keeping the ward. I like to play on this ward right here to the left, but on the side of Fang. That's just me. But theoretically, you could play on the other side, but it's harder to do so. This is just the better side to play on. So that's why I think in mid lane, Dawn side is better. I like playing on Dawn side more than Dust side, personally. Now I'm running out of mana, so I want to get this buff. Get the buff. Come here for the buff. I didn't know where Chimera was. Boop. Now I know Chimera's over there now, right? And I see Bellica rotating. So now that I know Chimera's over there, look where I'm at now. I see him on the map. I'm gonna play on the opposite side. So if he comes, you know, outside of the fog wall, I can just scurry over here, go in there, you know, and I'm safe. So just using vision at my best. I have him pushed. Now I have this ward here, so I know he's on seedling, right? I don't want him to be on seedling, so I'm poking him on seedling. I see Bellica rotating. He uses his knife, and we have Fang rotate on him. And this guy doesn't rotate. Probably out of self-preservation, because 3 of us was right here, so probably smart by him. But we punished him for the seedling. He got the seedling, but he also died. So, and our jungle got the kill. So now, I have no mana. He has no mana. I could back. But I think what I'm doing right now was waiting for a specific amount of gold. Now the thing about it is that with against Argus wave clears with his right mouse button, and it costs 15 mana per shot. I know that it costs a lot. It costs about 100 mana to kill these minions with his right mouse button at this level, about 100. He don't got that. My mana is only 70 or 60 for the 2 things that we use for wave clear is Fae. Not only that, but he was gonna back, and then when we both decided not to back, he tried to stun me instead of saving that mana for the wave. So I knew that I was free to push this wave a lot faster than him. And so I have 4, and at this point it's 7 minutes again. I know that the river buff is up, and I'm like, hey, I can stay again. So
we must go.
Or
I think I was trying to wait for a specific amount of gold, but I was like, look, I'm gonna get it, and this is important too because now I have two items, two tier 2 items, and thing. It's pretty much inconsequential. I didn't lose that many minions, and he's up only 5 minions on me, which is pretty much negligible. Just last hit and slow pushing, letting the wave do its thing. Trying to poke him while doing some damage to minions. Now you can see already with just an item and a hat, just a 1 tier 2 item that he has, and these 2, oh no, he has 2 tier 2 items. Just with these little bit of items, this dude is clearing way faster than me off of that one ability. So letting the wave stay, and so this is what I was talking about. These big minions, I let them come into the tower because they take so many shots. It's fine. It just, I don't want to take the damage unnecessarily, and I tried to poke him a little bit. So when he decides not to use his, he's trying not to waste all his mana clearly, but when he doesn't do it, I clear way faster than him because his other 2 abilities aren't good for wave clear. So now I'm just poking. Whenever the opportunity presents itself, I'm just poking him. I'm just poking. That's all I'm doing. Poking him with my E. Always have my ward up on this side. Push up. Try and do some damage to the wave. Keep that pressure. I missed my poke. But like I said, he's not trying to use that ability. He's using it now because he's seeing what's going on, but he's really trying not to use it. He's losing so much mana from it. I think I missed my poke again. Once I get my first item combustion, you'll start to see that really hurt. Boom. I got my ward right there. Chimera's coming from 2 camps, so now I'm aware that Chimera's right there. And yeah. I just back up, make it so it's so really stupid for Chimera to play. To like gank me. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I saw Chimera go over there, so what do? I come on this side, and look what the Chimera does. I had to give him a little taunt. I gave him a little emoji, and then my jungle came. So like again, inconsequential. Now their Chimera foolishly followed behind the Fang, and almost died for it. I'm not chasing him. Don't chase. I use my ult to pull him back. No, it doesn't get stronger. It gets I get more ability haste. So when I hit the E multiple times, my ability, I get +6 ability haste that stacks infinitely for a certain amount of time. So it's really nice to poke, and then you can use your other abilities, and you start off the fight with, usually you can poke +6 ability haste, and then you use your other 2 abilities, and then by then, since the ability, so okay, time out. I have an augment. The augment allows me to stack ability haste when I hit the E, the L2, okay? That's what the augment does, and it stacks indefinitely. The actual item reduces its cooldown, its own cooldown. I mean, the actual move reduces its own cooldown when I hit an enemy. So you start off the fight by hitting them with the E, and so you're gonna have reduced cooldown on that item, on that ability. Go pee, and come right back. And then the augment is gonna give you +6 ability haste. So then you can use her other 2 items, her other 2, and then by the time you use 1 or 2 of both of those moves, your E will be back up again. And so then you hit them again, and you're at +12 ability haste. So then those L1 and R1 are going to be on a reduced cooldown. And that shit stacks infinitely. And that counts towards your ultimate too. So, you know, if you start an engagement with your ultimate, and it's a prolonged fight, there are opportunities for when you can do it pretty much an ultimate twice in a team fight if it goes on for a decent amount of time.
So not stronger, but you get ability haste, and it has a reduced cooldown. Long story short, caught the Argus with my ultimate. He tried to escape, so we didn't get the. We ended up getting the Kai. I think Greystone ended up getting the Kai because he ran towards offlane and Greystone was paying attention, and then me and the Fang was able to collapse on this Argus. And so now I'm free to get both river buffs real quick fast and push his lane, and he's still not even back. So he's in a bad position, and we're at equal in farm. I came over here to get Fang, but they already got Fang. My minions were under his tower, and I got an item, a full item. He also has a full item, but he has a full item in 2 books, and I have an item and a half because I have a tier 2 item. So I'm up on gold for him by about 500 gold. And again, I'm just poking. As you can see, I'm 2 levels higher than him right now. So I want to keep my advantage. I set down my AoE stuff, and I'm moving towards him because I want him to have to respect me. I'm not going to let him step up, you know? Stun me. Now, that was bad. This is a bad trade because this is what you don't want, okay? You don't want him to just like right mouse button you to death, okay? So that was bad, and I was like, yeah, that was a bad trade. Boom. But still going up and poking him, hitting him. I know he's going for the other river buff, so I just come over here, peek, poke, just poke. And you know, off of 2 of those things, he's like almost at half health. He's at like 55, 60%. Poke, he's at half health. Okay, so place a ward. Keep the ward up over there as much as possible. He's backing. Why is he backing? I don't know. We're at about the same amount of CS, so you can kind of assume he doesn't have his crest. I know he doesn't have his crest. I can assume when he backs, he's going to have his crest. So that's important to keep in mind too. You know, it's always awkward, you know, trying to figure out when to back when you have your crest. When he backs, I know this wave is going under tower, so he's going to miss those, or he should miss most of them. Or it's a little different when they have good rules clear, but for the most part, he's missing it. So we're about to. This is the time. I have my crest. I have my first item. It looks like I'm going Tainted Scepter next, based on the items I picked. Tainted Scepter because they have a Chimera and they have a Zinx, right? So those are 2 people who heal a lot. So you want to go Tainted, especially. Everyone should have Tainted against these guys. You can see the Bellica is also going Tainted Scepter. It looks like. So really, you know, just paying attention to things like that. Fang came over here, did a, I think, not the greatest game. So I came to get my river buff. You see a lot going on in mid lane. So here, I place ult. Clearly, you can see that attached to the Chimera. Just completely cleanses it. So that's annoying. That would have been a dead Chimera. Greystone out of position. So this, who was it? This guy. Chimera, I don't know what the Chimera was doing. Running it down. Don't know why he went full in like that. You see the Grim. Whenever there's a team fight, kill the ADC. This guy is wildly out of position from the rest of his team. He's no chance of making it to his team over there. 0. Wildly out of position. You gotta kill the ADC. You gotta kill them. Kill the people who could kill you the fastest first. Everyone wants to beat up on the meat tank, Steel and Terra, and there's a Kira and a Grim shooting you in the back of your dome piece. You know, chunking you for 300k with their basic attack. Maybe we can get a live game, maybe. And so, always go for the carry first. When I saw him, no questions asked, I was on his ass. And he died. So if you don't know it, if you don't learn anything, Always kill carry and mid lane first, usually. Unless jungle or an off lane are extremely fed, mid lane usually has some of the best team ults. You want to kill them, they can do a lot of damage. Carry absolutely will kill you extremely quickly. Those should be always the two people you kill first in team fights, in my opinion. Me as the mid laner, whenever I'm in a team fight, the first person I go for is the carry or the opposing mid laner, always. Like, and if I can kill one of them before I die, I feel like my job is done, especially in the team fight. And so you'll see that, hopefully you'll see that throughout the game. You know, my target prioritization in team fight. So I have Zinc over here in my lane, strangely. See, just letting him go in there. So, do I place a ward? I don't know if I know that Argus is there. I think I know the Argus is there. I don't think I know the Argus is there. I don't know. But they're like lollygagging around. So, the Argus is playing over there. They playing footsies over there. So, I clear the wave, push it under tower, and then I start rotating to my team fight. Right? Help them with the kill. Who is this? Argus. Argus is pulled by my ult. That's Argus. I have no mana really, so I try to help, but that was a really bad flash for me. I don't know why I did that. But,
Regroup.
you know, I have no mana. I just back. There's nothing for me to do really. I'm Fae. So, with no mana, you're kind of useless. I don't care. Finish looking at the wall, boy. Here. Oh. Place my ward. There you go. And as soon as I place the ward, who pops up? Chimera. Why? Because I have my lane pushed. You gotta kind of have this flow. It's flow. Unless you can, especially in mid lane, more so than anywhere. You can't see if you don't see the jungler on the map, be very cautious with pushing up mid lane. Because they probably not that far. They're never that far from mid lane. And as soon as I push that lane up, right, where did he come? He came walking down from 2 camp. Trying to poke. I'm 2 levels higher than Argus. So I don't know if I saw that Aurora. I had to go ahead and taunt her a little bit. I don't know. Remember if I saw that Aurora on the map? I don't think so. It's just that's just game and a bad gank by her because I was already pushed by the tower, so it didn't make sense for her to come over there. I have this Argus right here. He saw the Fang, unfortunately, but Fang is going in. If your jungle goes in, you need to go in. If jungle goes in, you go in. It's that simple. So he didn't do nothing, right? He didn't kill the Argus, but look what the Chimera does. Chimera starts rotating over here. And so, okay, well, we'll fight. Chimera's dead. I used my ult, but the Grim flashed out of his range. And so now, Grim is dead. Now we're free to take this tower. Because we know Argus is up there. And we know Aurora is over there. They're both visible on the map. 3 towers. And because it's free, I'm going to try and see how much I can do for the second tower. So if the Argus comes back, I don't have that much mana. Time to back. I also have 2k gold. So at this point, I'm almost 2,000 gold over the Argus. I got Wraith Leggings and Combustion. And I thought I was going Tainted Scepter. I must have just bought the Spiked Birch to get the Tainted. That little stick right there item I have, that's the Tainted like ability, but it's not tainted, right? But that's the one that it's like the tier 2 item that makes them have reduced healing. So that's just a good thing to get. Emery, you stop putting your finger in your mouth. That's first. Yes, you have a sore up there, just like the one in your other one you have. It's gonna hurt for a couple days. You can't be putting stuff in your mouth. So I see the Fang fight. I see the Fang fighting Kai, and Kai didn't want no smoke. He knew he was gonna get blown up, so he just dipped. Very smart. Very smart.
An allied tower
I
is
see them
under
fighting over
attack.
here. Come rotate. Now this guy's probably dead, right? It's just Greystone. But I don't know if the Greystone has his ult or not. He does have his ult. If you can see up there on your team icon, that yellow dot lets you know if your teammate has flash, and that blue dot lets you know if your teammate has ult. So this Greystone has ult. So it's worth coming over here because he's not necessarily dead yet, right? But that Chimera is also devastatingly low. If I hit him with my E, he's probably dead. And so come over here, and he gets away. So I get hit with Aurora ult, but I station, and then I use my ult. I have to use my ult to get away, right? And they're gonna take the tower, so you just have to back up. This Aurora, greedy as fuck, still here, so whatever. Just annoying. Had to emote on her because why? Why are you still here? I don't know who she thought she was gonna kill. And then back to pushing my lane. And you see, I'm not rotating that much. I'm doing like little half rotations to skirmishes and fights nearby, but that's it. Otherwise, I'm pushing my lane. I'm winning my lane. There's no need for me to rotate. You know, my team are, for the most part, winning their lane. So, for the most part, winning their team fights. Now, my lane's pushed. Argus is over there in their lane. I have ult up. No, I do not have ult. It shows ult, but I don't have ult if you look up by my character name. So, but I'm going to come over here anyway. And what do they? Do they back off? So do I back off? I probably back off. Yep. Back off, see what they do. They're coming towards Fang, but decide not to do it for whatever reason. And then they decide to do it. I don't know what happened. But I'm just looking. I'm pretty much looking for Fang, see if they go in there for Fang. Because now at this point, I'm sure we have my ult. Now, I come over here because I saw Argus go over here.
An allied tower
And
is
then
under
I'm trying to
attack.
make sure that this big doesn't kill.
Destroyed.
So, because this one is to our inhib. So just clear that and then let that reset and then go back to my lane. So that's it. Argus is on left lane. So I walk all the way over here because they are running it down. But they don't have that much health. So I saw this guy, who was that? Aurora with not that much health. I didn't realize these two were like pretty much full health, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't want to fight that. You guys got it. And so you just leave. You ain't got to fight everything. I have no escape. It's just
An allied tower
sometimes
is under
the other
attack.
thing is your movement speed is slower when you attack. If you use basic attacks, you're not at full movement speed. So if you're trying to get away, you got to commit to getting away. If you start swinging and doing things, yes. What happened? And so, if you are committed to getting away, then you shouldn't be trying to fight. You know, you have to kind of pick. That's why the game is designed like that. So, you know, I didn't do nothing. You stay disciplined. You just chill. I got the buff. Aurora's not super pushed up. I see Argus back in lane, so I go back in lane. Okay. Place my ward. And look, there's a Grim over there. Just having game sense. It's just having game sense a little bit. Imagine. If I pushed up, I would have got nuked by that Grim. You know what I'm saying? Thankfully, they got him for being wildly out of position again. I don't know what that Grim is doing. 2 and 6 for a reason. So, I know I got Murdoch help. So we chunked him. So, this is not the greatest position to be in, right? Again, clearly got that Chimera in my ultimate, and it was a waste. I flash out, try to stay safe, just run away. That's it. I see we got help. They're going back in, so we go back in.
simple. So the Aurora caught wildly out of position. Caught her trying to get a river buff with no mana. Definitely fighting her. You catch somebody at a river buff with no mana, that's a fight. I got hit by that, unfortunately. And I couldn't get in there, but so she might have got away. But I ended up stealing the river buff from her. So I have 26k gold. So we back. So it's nice. This Argus is pretty committed to his lane for the most part. I don't know where he's at right this second. We have good CS for where we're at in the game. Argus gets nuked. Take the 2-2. Chimera. We probably should have won it on that Chimera. There was 3 of us right there, and he just kind of jumped in. We probably could have killed him. Get my river buff. And then we see Aurora in our jungle. She pushed up to this inhib and then tried to go through the jungle. I'm telling you, even for characters with high mobility, this is not a good. It's not a good thing. Then missed her flash over the wall. It's crazy. Yes, baby. 1 second. Sorry, I had a little bite of ceviche. It says perfect. I saw I don't know what's on here.
Regroup, regrow.
Backing because I have 2k gold again. Now, when the game state is like this, everybody, for the most part, should be playing relatively close to Fangtooth, right? We have 3 Fangtooths up, so we have a permanent buff, right? Once you get 3 Fangtooths, you have a permanent buff, and then the 4th Fangtooth on gives you a bonus, a primal bonus, like a temporary dot damage to your attacks. So it's really good for team fights and things like that. Now, they don't have the permanent buff because they don't have 3 fangs. But if they were to kill this fang, they would still get the primal Fangtooth dot damage bonus, right? So it's really important for everyone to kind of be near Fangtooth, and that's why you see so many wards over there and things like this. This is primarily a gold and plat lobby. So, you know, people just kind of understanding that. Now, this is funny. So this Argus, I caught this Argus. Our Fang just killed... Did he just kill somebody? He just killed Shaper. So Fang was right here. He got away from the Argus, right? He got away from Argus. But he's at low life. Argus ult can go through walls and stuff like that. So I caught this Argus trying to ult our Fang. Now when Argus is in his ult, he can't move. So I was just free to poke him. Free to poke him, he gave me pretty much a free kill. And then you could get stunned out of Argus's ult. So once I pulled him with my ultimate, he no longer was able to kill Fang. And so I saved our Fang and killed their mid laner. So now I'm rotating over here. Our Fang is over here. Duo is dead. My lane is pushed up, you know, almost pretty much to inhib. So now it's a great time to rotate. Grim came to me, so he made it easy. Very easy kill. And then we're right here. I'm going to take Primal. They're missing 2 of their highest damage dealers, right? And we don't know where Chimera is, but it's 3 against 1. But even it don't matter. Chimera's on the opposite side of the fucking map. So we take Primal. So now we got all 3 primals. We got permanent primal buff, and we get their dot damage bonus. Temporary 1-hit damage buff.
Time to rest.
I have 2,000 gold again. Time to back. You can see the game's pretty much over at this point. Like, we've out-objectived them, even though the kills are relatively similar. So now you play for... Primal's done. Primal's going to be done for a while. Now you want to ward OP. OP is the next buff, right? So we're warding OP. I want to ward right here to see if they're looking at OP. Yes, I do. So
Enemy has been slain.
I'm just gonna have chips with it. So they're team fighting. I didn't know if they were going to engage or not, so that's why I was playing kind of off. But when I saw they going in, I mean, at this point in the game, you could pretty much ignore minions. They do a little bit of damage, but nothing crazy. I know Argus is right here because my team just has vision on him. He flash, I pull him back. He somehow stays alive, but not really. I get a double.
An allied inhibitor.
And he takes his power. And at this point, it's game. You know, look at how much their cooldown they are at. You know, you have to acknowledge sometimes. Yes, please. Sometimes it's easier. Thank you, my love. Sometimes it's you could just end the game. You know, what you'll see a lot of times in low ranks is they'll be in this exact same position, and instead of just ending the game, they'll go rotate to the other lanes to try and kill those inhibs. This game is over. Thank you, my love. This game is over, okay? Just fucking push mid sometimes, you know? That's all it takes. And so, we come over here. Grim has okay wave clear. He probably could kill one of us, but fuck it. You go straight for the Grim. Just kill him. He's gone. And then everyone here, even with no minions, everyone can just eat the damage and just kill the game, and it's over. And that's how you play mid. It's a great mid game. Rotate when available, but that's it. Don't over rotate. And the stats, I obviously did the most damage. Didn't die, so like not feeding and stuff like that, really important. Yeah, being useful to the team. I didn't even have that many good team ults. But I'm about to end stream. Hazard, you can watch all of the VOD. You can watch his live stream back for all the whole VOD things, anything you missed. But this was our VOD review session. I'm gonna go eat something real quick fast. And that's it. Peace.